Let's check this out for a bit.
Weird occurrences and haunted automobiles.
Haunted
Join
automobile,
us now on an
guys.
expedition searching for the strange and the unusual.
The strange, the unusual.
Behind these metal gates lurks a world of unexplained twists of fate, weird occurrences.
Music
and
sounds like
haunted
Zelda music or
automobiles.
something.
Join us now on an expedition searching for the strange, the eerie, and the unusual. Welcome to the Great American Mystery Cars.
Hell
An hour
yeah.
unlike any you've ever spent before. Your host is Adam West, who will take you on a tour of a
What?
bizarre house and reveal the story of this mysterious automobile. Jan Gabriel and Linda Marshall will show you unusual cars of kings, queens, and movie stars, along with the authentic Bonnie and Clyde death car with actual film footage. Television and movie star Claude Akins will introduce
Bonnie
you
and
to
Clyde
the
death
first
car
automobile and
with real
the
blood.
bitter 40-year feud it caused.
This voice is
Comedian
amazing.
Gallagher will show you some crazy
Oh my
cars
God.
to tickle your funny bone. And from Graceland, the exotic cars of Elvis Presley.
And
much
Elvis
more.
is dead.
So join us for an intriguing television first, the Great American Mystery Cars.
Everyone that matters is here. Get the steel drums out.
And now, the Great American Mystery Cars with your host, Adam West.
Hello there. Welcome to the Great American Mystery Cars. We've just arrived at the beautiful
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
bizarre Winchester
We're just gonna
Mystery
go with that
House
take.
here in San Jose, California. It's the mansion that once belonged to Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the bloodstained
I've been here.
Winchester rifle fortune. Later, I'll be telling you why her house is so strange and what's so unique about the garage where she kept her cars. I'll also tell you the incredible story of this sleek and mysterious automobile called the Phantom Corsair, designed by a man.
It's like
who
we're
could
watching
see
Family
into the
Guy.
future. You know, many people believe that automobiles and houses have a
Automobile.
mysterious, independent life of their own. Perhaps you yourself have experienced a home with some haunting memories, or have owned a car that had a personality all its own. There are individual cars all around the world with stories that strain the imagination. And with the help of some
But
good
I love
friends of mine,
automobile.
we'll share with you some mysterious stories. So let's begin by going to Reno, Nevada with Jan Gabriel, Claude Akins, Linda Marshall, and some fascinating automobiles.
This is the Hera Automobile Collection in Reno, Nevada. Hundreds of classic cars valued at millions of dollars are housed here. Thousands of people come each year to see what one man, Bill Hera, accomplished. He was the tycoon of a gambling and hotel empire and loved beautiful cars. Bill
don't know who
spent
that
the last
is.
25 years of his life amassing the largest collection in the world. And this
Wonder how many of these
1911
cars
Maxwell
Jay
was the
Leno
beauty
owns
that got
now.
him started on a collection that filled 3 showrooms with over 1,500 extraordinary automobiles.
Jay Leno just
If
owns
Bill
all
Hera
of
hadn't
these.
pursued his extravagant hobby, much automobile history would have been lost forever. But here's where the mystery comes in. When he died in 1978, he left no plans for keeping his marvelous collection intact.
We're going into an
you would
ad,
think after
folks.
spending millions of dollars, he would have wanted to preserve it. Some
It's
say
it.
he was so possessed by the collection itself that it never occurred to him that anyone would dare to dismantle it after his death. Although some of the cars were sold off, fortunately, the city of Reno has stepped in to help save much of this world.
Imagine driving one of these around
And
today.
we're about to tell you the story of
Do you
some
guys
of its
drive this as your
outstanding
daily car?
showpieces. But before we do, let's go back, all the way back.
You had to get it
the origin
vulcanized
of the
still, like,
automobile.
daily?
Let's travel to the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County and join a man you've seen in hundreds of movies and has starred on dozens of television shows, from Sheriff Lobo to Murder, She Wrote, Mr. Claude Akins. He's going to show you the first automobile ever patented.
And this is it, the very first
transition.
gas-powered motor car. It was patented in 1886 by that famous German inventor, Carl Benz. So, now you know.
My
Henry
God.
Ford did not invent the first automobile. However, there were 2 other vehicles we found that were invented even earlier. In 1863, J.J. Etienne Lenoir built the first internal combustion-powered road vehicle, but he only made one and never had it patented. The other was built in 1875 by Siegfried Marcus, an Austrian inventor. Now, he stated publicly that his contraption was a waste of time and money, and he never pursued it further. Carl Benz, on the other hand, wanted to not only build the first car, he intended to market it as well. By 1895, he was selling 135 cars a year to the European market. His car was successful as well as practical, which is why Carl Benz gets the credit for inventing the first gas-powered car. Now, let's take a look at another car that was being built about the same time. This is the workshop of Gottlieb Daimler, who
This
invented
car
the
would
second
gas.
automobile. Naturally, he thought it was the first. Neither Daimler nor Benz knew each other, even though they lived only 60 miles apart. Benz's patent was granted just 5 months before Daimler's. Then, 40 years later, after years of bitter rivalry, their two companies eventually merged. A race car
Assuming
built
Mercedes-Benz
by Daimler
was
represented
the
a significant advancement in both engine and chassis technology. In 1914, they took first, second, and third place in the French Grand Prix that year. The second-place car was shipped to the United States by American race driver Ralph De Palma, who drove it to victory in the 1915 Indianapolis 500. By 1926, Benz and Daimler had combined to form a company that continues building world-class cars to this day. So, there you have it. A little bit about the origin of the automobile. And now, John
Automobile.
Linder, back to you in Reno, Nevada.
Thanks, Claude Akins. You know, most Hollywood stars love to travel in style, and this man was no different.
Dear Jocelyn, the early bird catches the worm, but who needs worms?
Ooh.
Those are the immortal sounds of the first superstar of talking pictures, Mr. Al Jolson. And this was his 1933 Cadillac Fleetwood. And as you can see, it's luxury all the way. Truly a great car. A lot of Hollywood stars prefer to own
Al
specialty cars.
Jolson.
Al Jolson was an all-out kind of performer who loved his automobiles and his audiences. This car has been completely restored. As beautiful as the cars in the Harrah's collection are, most of them were purchased in rather poor condition and upgraded here. Bill Harrah made sure the Jolson car was restored to its original perfection, with all the little details. This car only cost $8,000 when it was new, and you had to be a star to afford it back then in 1933, which was right in the middle of the Depression. Al Jolson certainly enjoyed this luxury car built 53 years ago. But here in this great collection, we have found yet another luxury car built over 75 years ago. It went through a transformation that would make automobile history. And here to tell you the story is Linda Marshall.
Thanks, Jan. This 1907 Thomas touring car is one of the favorites here at Harrah's. She's referred
How
to
are
as
these
the
cars
Blonde.
haunted? When do they get
The
haunted?
manufacturer, E.R. Thomas of Buffalo, New York, bragged about how fast his cars would go. Now, just suppose
Like, people
we
die
strip
with
this
these cars?
beautiful
What's going
automobile
on?
of her top and all dead weight and make a race car out of her. Now, just imagine.
Well, Linda, we don't
was a
have to
sick
imagine
transition.
because it actually happened. And this is the car. This is a 1907 Thomas Flyer. On February 12, 1908, this American-built
George
car,
Lucas was
along with
watching
3
this when
French
he was,
cars,
like,
one
coming up with
Italian
Star Wars.
and 1 German car, began what was to be the most incredible endurance race in history. It was the round-the-world New York to Paris automobile race, and this Thomas Flyer was a late entry.
Little was done to modify it for the race. Oh, they did add 12-inch wooden planks to replace the fenders for mud and snow.
And you have to keep in mind that there were no superhighways back then. Day after day, the going got pretty tough.
The race started in Times Square in New York with 50,000 people cheering them on.
They went westward through Buffalo, Cleveland, Toledo, and Chicago.
So
Early
what were they
on,
driving
Thomas
on?
Flyer made it
What
clear it was the
roads?
car to beat by establishing a
roads?
fast early lead. This American entry really had the winning edge with its 70-horsepower engine.
The weather was awful and stayed that way with high snow drifts and nearly impassable roads. West of Chicago, the snow turned to rain, which made the Thomas Flyer's struggle westward even more difficult.
The exhausted competitors finally arrived in San Francisco 41 days after the start of the race. The cars in the running had been reduced to 4: the American Thomas Flyer, the Italian Zust, the French Didion, and the German Protos. All 4 were boarded on ships to continue the race in Japan.
The Japanese had never seen a car before and were so inquisitive that they slowed the progress considerably. And crossing Asia was a nightmare. There just weren't any roads.
What the flyer did was to straddle the railroad tracks on the Trans-Siberian Railway and drive on the ties, which was very hard on the car. Every time there was a breakdown, the parts had to be replaced or repaired by the crew. It took an incredible amount of ingenuity.
Incredible is the word, all right, but it was the Americans who prevailed and won the race as the Thomas Flyer rolled into Paris on July 30th, 171 days after the start.
The Thomas Flyer had covered 13,341 land miles over 3 continents.
Bill Harrah found this car 56 years later and restored it as a tribute to all the men of the heroic crews who ran the 1908 Round the World, New York to Paris race. It was an accomplishment never equaled.
Thanks, Jan and Linda. As Claude Akins told you, the first automobile was patented in 1886. 2 years earlier, in 1884,
How come no one says car?
Sarah
I'm just saying
Pardee
automobile.
Winchester
Did
moved
car
to
come
this
out?
house. Back then, it was only 8 rooms. Now there are 160 rooms that
Finally.
sprawl over 6 acres. Exploring this strange Victorian mansion that Sarah Winchester built is no easy task. You really have to begin here in this plain little room. It's the seance room, and it's the heart of the house, surrounded by a confusing maze of 160 rooms. It's said that Sarah Winchester was a woman driven by guilt and the terror of vengeance from beyond the grave. The tragic
They were pulling out
deaths
all
of
the
her
tricks
infant
on this
daughter and
editing.
husband forced her to consult a medium who convinced her that her whole family had been cursed by the souls of those who'd been murdered by the Winchester.
Excuse me, did that say
And there was only
www
one
dot?
chance for salvation.
He invented the
She must
internet.
move west and construct a house that would never be finished. Only then could she placate the spirits and achieve eternal life. According to legend, Sarah.
Yeah, we went there
cleaned
once.
this
This is
room
pretty cool.
each night
They have, like,
between
axe
the
throwing in
hours
the
of
back now.
midnight and 2 a.m. She summoned her ghostly accusers. They gave her the mythical commands for building her house. Then each day she gave orders to her army of carpenters who worked unceasingly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 38 years. There are rooms that are literally built around each other. Priceless Tiffany stained glass windows look out on inner walls or are completely hidden in closets. The stairways can be treacherous. They twist and turn, leading back to where you started. Here are a series of steps that lead mysteriously to the ceiling and stop. Only a ghost could get to the upper floor. The storage space in closets and cupboards can vary from the size of a 3-room apartment to only 1 inch. You never know what you'll find when
What
you
does this have to
open
do
the
with
door.
cars?
In this case, it's a blank
Right?
wall. Here, the first step can kill.
My God, watch out!
It's a 1-story drop. There's no question about it. This is the house that guilt built. And with its bell towers, weather vane, turrets, gables, skylights, and Victorian gingerbread, believe me, there's nothing like it in all the world. A person could disappear behind these walls and never be heard of again. That door won't open, and there's no floor behind this door. How am I going to get out of here? When I started Batman, I used to get out of situations more dangerous than this. It's as easy as saying, holy ghosts. As you can see, I've still got the old touch. In the late 1930s, the Winchester house was closed. People feared that the place was haunted. At the same time, this mysterious car was being built. Come to think of it, both the house and the car have a lot in common. They're beautiful and they're mysterious, and they have stories
the
involving
Batman
bizarre
car.
twists of fate. The car, called the Phantom Corsair, may even be haunted. The 2 men who loved it the most both died in tragic car crashes, but that's only part of the story. It all began back in 1936 with a 23-year-old Yale dropout named Rust Hines. He was the heir to the famous ketchup and pickle fortune. You know, the 57 varieties, folks. He was obsessed with his dreams of a futuristic vision he called the Phantom Corsair. His family in Pittsburgh wanted him to grow up and take over the factory, but Rust was determined to make his dream a reality. Fortunately for him, two car builders from Pasadena, California, named
Why was there like
Coleman
Heinz
Schwartz,
in the
were
background?
smart enough to recognize real genius when they saw it. They willingly provided the practical expertise Rust needed. The car breezed through all the tests in a specially constructed wind tunnel.
Oh, I guess I
soon
missed that.
ready for full-scale construction. Nothing like the Phantom Corsair had ever been seen before. The soaring lines of its full-envelope aluminum body seemed to be moving even when standing still. It was strictly Buck Rogers. The fog
Fucking
lights
love
were
ketchup.
built in with chrome-lined
Especially the
tunnels
Heinz
that
people.
reflected light to the sides of the car.
Love 'em.
Wraparound steel bumpers were controlled hydraulically. The doors open electrically, and little wings raise the roof, making it easier to enter. The dashboard gadgets monitor everything from oil pressure to altitude. And most importantly, the entire interior was padded with cork paneling. The emphasis was on safety and comfort. The Phantom Corsair was far ahead of its time, but unfortunately, time had run out for young Rust Hines. On
Yeah,
the way to the
license
first
plate,
public showing of
1938.
his beloved Phantom Corsair, he was killed in an automobile accident driving another car. His hopes for marketing his Phantom were tragically ended. Still, the car has endured.
People just looked
It starred
wild
opposite
back then.
Paulette Goddard and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. in the 1939 film Young at Heart, portraying a mysterious vehicle called the Flying Wombat. The Phantom Corsair was sold to a number of owners during the years that followed. Then in 1951, it was bought by comedian Herb Schreiner, who
What was
shared
that?
the same love for this amazing vehicle that Rust Hines once had. Schreiner, too, was killed in an automobile accident while driving another car. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Perhaps both would still be
Before
alive if
seatbelts,
only
too,
they'd
wasn't
been
it?
driving the Phantom Corsair. The car remains an enduring monument to a young man's dream. You know, this Phantom Corsair looks like the first cousin to my old Batmobile, which I let Robin drive around Hollywood these days. Speaking of Hollywood, it's the home of some pretty fast characters, including my friend, the one and only Gallagher.
Hi, gang. Welcome to the streets of Hollywood.
It's
Today
Gallagher.
we're going to be asking the big mysteries of the automotive world, like why aren't there watermelon cars? They make a roll bar on a car. You'd think they'd make something that you could roll over.
Holy shit.
That watermelon not only rolls over, it sets world records. Let's jump 4 school buses. Wasn't that more fun, gang? I wonder why they don't build a car like that. Well, it's a mystery. Well, I don't know
The
why
CIA
you
is
don't put a
like,
big
Gallagher,
lid
how
on the
many
front end of a car so you can see
C4s
around the
can we
bush at the
fit
corner
inside that
and don't have to
car?
hang your motor out in the intersection. Why don't they do
Going to
that?
need to use
It's
this
a mystery.
technology.
Why don't they hang your old tires around a car like a tugboat so people could bash into you and not hurt the finish? Why don't they do that? It's a mystery. Well, why not put a horn light up on top of the car so when you honk the horn, it leaves the light on and people know who's mad? Why don't they do that? It's a mystery. You know the people you get mad at, too. They're the ones going over the overpass with the turn signal on. Boy, I think Detroit ought to connect the turn signal with the wheel so it blink a couple of times and then turn the wheel and make those people commit to a decision. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're the ones leaning forward in the car going uphill. Yep, I'm telling the truth. It's those people with a compass on the dashboard.
How do we know if this is
that
the real
don't know where
Gallagher,
they're
not
going.
his brother
We need
who
to
like
get them
stole
off
the
the road.
show?
How'd they got a license, I don't know. It's
Didn't
a
happen.
mystery. Now, how about making these truck drivers drive from in front of the grill work so they won't run up on our back end so much? Why don't they do that? It's a mystery. And why not spend all of our defense money on making campers with a missile on top, kind of ICBMWs, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Winnebagos? Boy, wouldn't the Russians be afraid of us out for the weekend with a 6-pack and a Polaris? Let's do it, gang. Why not? It's a mystery. I like a big car. It's America. When I see them Americans driving them rice-burning cars, I think to myself, you could have had a V8. Then I saw a Love truck, but then it wasn't made for love. It didn't have heavy-duty shocks. It didn't have windshield wipers on the inside. It didn't have a steering wheel made out of Nerf. What about this, gang? A pants leg and a shoe. You could hang this out the door of your car. It's kind of a diversionary tactic. You like that? You've seen the sign, baby on board. Here it is. There's that baby on board. You know, I wish I had a rubber stick-em dart gun every time I see somebody driving.
Yeah,
stupid.
Gallagher's
I could just
brother
hang out the
stole
window
his
of my
act.
car and shoot him in the trunk, and it would stick there with a little sign that said stupid on it. Then when the cops come by and see a car with about a dozen of these on the back end, he just pull them over and give them a ticket for being stupid. Why don't they do that? It's a mystery. Hi, gang. Well, it's time to wrap it up. Whatever it is, it's a pile of trash. It's a car cover. It's a way of you getting a good parking space when it says no parking. You just put a pile of trash in there. It's also a way of keeping the bank from repossessing your car. You just roll her up.
It's like watching Carrot Top. I swear to God.
Well, I wish I could stay all day, but I got things to do. It's back to you, Adam. Boy, I wish everybody drived as good as me.
Another stimulating driving lesson from Wrong Way Gallagher. I've been telling you about Sarah Winchester and her house, but this program is mostly about mysterious automobiles.
No, it's
Sarah
not.
owned 3, a Renault, a Buick, and a Pierce Arrow. Her contribution to automotive technology is one of great significance, and I'll tell you about it later in the program. She bought a Pierce Arrow in 1911, the same year the Indianapolis 500 began. And here to tell us about some Indianapolis cars with strange and unusual stories is the voice of the Indianapolis 500, Paul Page.
This is the Indianapolis Motor
Sick
Speedway Hall
transition.
of Fame Museum. It is here where they house the great racing cars of the decades and pay tribute to the men who drove them. There are many myths and legends connected with the unrelenting quest for speed. It was a mystery to many how the Marmon Wasp became the first car to win the very first 500-mile race back in 1911. Driven by Ray Haroon, it was dubbed unsafe and
Did someone die in
unreliable
it?
because
Where's
it was
the
a
ghost?
single-seater,
What happened to the
the
ghost
only
stuff?
one of its kind in that first race. It won with an average speed of 74.5 miles an hour. Every tale that is told about these mysterious and powerful machines contains a dose of the unusual, even the bizarre. In racing,
Hey, here we go.
death is a constant passenger. Only the most daring and skilled driver can take a car to the limit and avoid disaster. But there was one car that even the best could not tame. The mystery surrounding the Bose Seal-Fast Special continues even today. In 1935, a driver named Johnny Hannon had been hired by car owner Leon DeRay to make his debut at Indianapolis by driving number 45. Although a rookie, Hannon's previous accomplishments had given him the credibility to run at Indy. He felt confident that he was going to win the 500 this first time out. It was never to happen. During his first practice run,
Disappeared.
Hannon never appeared through the fourth turn.
What?
No one had reported seeing the car stop on the track. In fact, the car was nowhere in sight.
Disappeared?
Finally, DeRay found fresh
Yes.
skid marks in turn 3. As he looked over the wall, he was shocked to discover his damaged race car sitting upright on the edge of a cornfield. Hannon was dead, his riding mechanics severely injured. Hannon's quest for instant speed had brought him to a swift meeting with
This is
death.
what Speed Racer was.
That
based
one
on.
incident, however, was not to be the end of the mystery and tragedy surrounding number 45. Only 6 days later, veteran driver Clay Weatherly qualified the car for the 9th row. Here's where the story becomes almost
Earl
bizarre.
Weatherly?
On the 10th lap, Weatherly, like Hannon before him, lost control of the machine and crashed. He died instantly, and his riding mechanic was also killed. The tragedy put a pall on the running of the 1935 race, as the
Here
mystery
is his
surrounding this
body.
death car intensified. What prompted both drivers to lose control? Was foul play involved? Was the car jinxed? Why wasn't it pulled from the race after the first fatality? Well, today, these questions still go unanswered, but the story does not end here. In 1936, this infamous car was back in the lineup, driven by a young Frenchman named Cliff Berger. Why any driver would accept a ride in the same machine that
He
had
also
killed
invented
three of
the
his
hamburger.
colleagues within 9 days of each other is unknown. But because Berger did, the jinx that had haunted the Bose Seal Fast Special was now broken. The 1936 driver of Leon Duray's death car did not win the race that year. But unlike his predecessors, he did live to tell about it. I'm Paul Page.
And now, back to Adam West.
I'm sure you've gathered by now that Sarah Winchester was more than a little eccentric. Actually, it goes even deeper. She zealously guarded her privacy. Uninvited guests were unwelcome, and that even included the President of the United States, who tried to get through these front doors and failed. In 1903, Teddy Roosevelt was visiting the area and was curious to see the outlandish Winchester house that he'd heard so much about. So he paid a surprise visit, but Sarah refused to see him. So he got back into his official
me?
carriage and
But he was
returned to
there?
Washington without saying a word. Horse-drawn presidential carriages lost their usefulness along about 1909.
What does that mean?
To tell us more, from the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village, Michigan, is the lovely Eleanor Mondale.
Thanks, Adam. You know, this is the very same carriage that President Roosevelt used riding away from Sarah Winchester's house. Teddy Roosevelt was a very skilled rider, and he loved beautiful horses. The thoroughbreds that pulled this rig were considered the finest in the country. Perhaps that's why there were no motor cars in the White House. Then in 1909, President William Howard Taft finally changed the stables into a garage. He purchased the first 4 cars in the presidential fleet, a White steamer, 2 Pierce Arrows, and a Baker Electric. Both the president and his lady were mad for motor cars. In President Taft's time, the cars were bought outright. In contrast, the cars of Franklin Delano Roosevelt were especially built for him, like this 1939 Lincoln convertible nicknamed the Sunshine Special. It was shipped around the world to such exotic places as Casablanca and Yalta. During World War II, protective armor was added, including a compartment for firearms and submachine guns to protect FDR from assassins. The next president, Harry S. Truman, retired it in 1950 in favor of this up-to-the-minute Lincoln Cosmopolitan. Unlike the ready-made models, this car has enough headroom for even the tallest top hat. President Eisenhower was responsible for adding the clear plastic bubble top over the backseat of the car.
How
He
come?
likes being visible to the crowds while still
I
feeling
did
protected.
Eisenhower. Who'd you skip?
Of all the presidential
I feel like there's
vehicles,
someone you
this
skipped
elongated
there that might have been
1961
important
Lincoln
to this- to
Continental
that
remains
story.
at the center of one of the greatest mysteries in
Who did you
American
skip?
history.
Who
This
did
is
they
the car where
skip?
President
Hi.
Kennedy was riding in the day he was
Yeah, there we go.
assassinated. Controversy has raged ever since on the true circumstances behind his brutal murder, but loss of evidence and disappearing witnesses have ensured the impossibility of formal prosecution. The car was more luxurious and contained more special features than any other automobile used at the White House. After the tragic events of November 22, 1963, President Johnson had the limousine sent back to Detroit for remodeling. When it rejoined the official fleet in 1964, the Presidential Continental had undergone a somber transformation. It contained enough armor plating to resist a landmine and weighed more than 5 tons. Even so,
Be like
LBJ
a
was
mech
always uneasy
president
when he
gets
rode in
used.
it. The car remained in use for Presidents Nixon and Ford. Then when Jimmy Carter became president and my father vice president, they retired the car here at the Henry Ford Museum. I had the opportunity to ride in a presidential limousine with my father many times, and I must say I felt very safe and very secure. I'm Eleanor Mondale. Back to you, Adam West, in San Jose, California.
Thanks, Eleanor. Teddy Roosevelt wasn't the only person snubbed by Mrs. Winchester. As time went on, she retreated further and further from public view until the only two people she saw were her butler and her secretary. Still, she avidly directed the construction on her house, inventing new ways to make her estate function more efficiently. This call box to summon her servants was one of her many extraordinary inventions. This storage room is stacked with priceless wall coverings, costly veneers, and masterpieces in stained glass. Her delicate stained glass windows were designed by Tiffany's of New York. On the rare occasions when she left the house, Sarah rode like a queen in a splendid chauffeur-driven Pierce Arrow that reflected her exquisite taste. There's no doubt that Mrs. Winchester would have appreciated the artwork that's been created concerning the automobile. Let's take a look at some of these masterpieces. The Los Angeles Museum of Contemporary Art was the site of an extraordinary exhibit, bringing together works by Salvador Dali, Matisse, Picasso, and others. Some are abstract, some are traditional, but no matter how
Picasso car?
complex, they all explore the mystery of the automobile
Oh
from
my
the artist's
God.
point of view. Some of the profound meanings behind these works of art are easy to understand. Others are a little more difficult. Each painting, photograph, or sculpture tells its own unique story, incorporating fantasy or stark reality. The point of fact is that the car is a necessity that brings us convenience, joy, and
What
even
the
at
fuck?
times
What is that
passion.
picture?
But no matter how it's depicted, the automobile has become an extension of ourselves. The staggering body count in our highways each year is a national disgrace. There have been a number of brilliant and talented people who've lost their lives. Geniuses like Rust Hines and the most promising young movie star of the 1950s, James Dean. For more, let's go back to Jan Gabriel
rip
and
James
Linda
Dean.
Marshall in Reno, Nevada.
If a man can bridge the gap between life and death, I mean, if he can live on after he's dead, then maybe he was a great man. James Dean said that, and perhaps he knew something about the future because he became even a
James
greater
Dean.
star after he was killed in an automobile accident in 1955. But James Dean was different. He had a unique style all his own. And back in the 50s, everyone wanted to be just like James Dean. He was the kind of guy who marched to a different drummer. James Dean was one movie star who always seemed real to us. We could relate to him. He came from the bright lights of Broadway to Hollywood and made only 3 films in his short
could
career.
relate to him.
East of Eden, Giant, and his most popular film, Rebel Without a Cause, which co-starred Natalie Wood, Sal Mineo, and this 1949 two-door Mercury Coupe. In fact, this car was the inspiration for the first of the custom car designers. They'd take off all the excess chrome to give it a sleeker look. It was called nosing and decking. All things considered, I'd say this 1949 Mercury was the perfect choice when Warner Brothers needed a hot car to co-star with James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. And now, here's Linda.
This car ought to be stashed in Fort Knox. This 1931 Bugatti Royale was appraised in 1983 at $2 million. That was 3 years ago.
What do you think happened to all
Only
these
the good
cars?
Lord and the next owner know what it's worth today. Some say as much as $10 million. And why? First, it's a Bugatti, and only 6 of this model were ever built. It's one of the largest passenger cars ever made, almost 20 feet long. The smooth and powerful 300 horsepower engine is a mechanical masterpiece. It has the world's largest straight-8 engine block and cylinder head made by hand, and it's beautiful enough to have been sculptured by an artist. The car was reputedly built for King Carol of Romania, but a few years later found its way back to France. In an effort to avoid capture or destruction by the German army in 1939, the car was hidden in the sewers of Paris until the end of the war. Bill Harrah acquired the car and made it part of his collection in 1964. This car is to automobiles what the Hope Diamond is to jewelry.
One of the prime factors that makes the Hera car collection so outstanding is the painstaking detail that goes into restoring every car. It's all done right here in the best equipped, most complete restoration shop in the world. They'd even restore your classic car. Now, here's an example of a car that's in for a little work. It looks as though it was the first car with air conditioning. Actually, those are real bullet holes. And this car once belonged to two of the most notorious bank robbers and murderers of the 1930s, Bonnie and Clyde. And here's Bonnie Parker herself to tell us the real story.
Thanks a lot, Jan. I'm really glad I'm not Bonnie Parker, because this is the very
What?
car
How'd they get
she
Bonnie
and
Parker?
Clyde Barrow were driving when they were ambushed by the law. This is the authentic Bonnie and Clyde death car.
You might say it was the last ride for Bonnie and Clyde.
The truth is, they were lovers in crime who paid a heavy price for defying the law. Bonnie Parker was from a comfortable, middle-class family in a suburb of Dallas. She didn't have to steal.
On the other hand, Clyde
Oh, yeah, it's in
Barrow
New
was
Vegas.
a sharecropper's son who by 1932 was establishing a reputation as a car thief, bank robber, and
Jay Leno
cold-blooded
owns
killer
all
of a
these
dozen
cars,
men.
yeah.
Then he met Bonnie Parker, who was bored with being a waitress and eager for action. The two of them went on a ruthless crime spree that shocked law-abiding citizens in 5 states.
While waiting on a side road outside Grapevine, Texas for other members of their gang, Clyde and his cigar-smoking mob
Like how it's all like
viciously
whimsical. It's
gunned
like
down
they
2
killed
state
people.
troopers.
It's like,
It was these atrocious
Yeah.
murders that sealed their doom. Outraged, Dallas County Sheriff Newt Smith said to his deputies, Bob Alcorn and Ted Hinton, "I want those two, and I don't care what you have to do to get them." Alcorn was the only lawman who could identify them. And on May 23, 1934, after a year of pursuit, a tip-off sent him and 5 other peace officers to a rural area just outside of Arcadia, Louisiana, where they set their trap and waited for the vicious pair to show up. Their patience paid off.
At 8:30 in the morning, a 1934 4-door Ford sedan rumbled down the country road directly into the lawman's gun sights. Alcorn was quick to identify Clyde Barrow. He waited until the last possible moment, then yelled.
"That's him, for sure."
The 6 lawmen stood and fired.
160 bullets ripped through the car door, passing through both Clyde
Jesus.
and Bonnie, exiting through the other door. The officers weren't taking any chances. They intended to stop them cold, and they did.
Found in the car was Clyde's arsenal of 2 sawed-off shotguns, 2 machine guns, 10 automatic pistols, and 1,500 rounds of ammunition.
They were young and in love and quick on the trigger. But in the end, Bonnie and Clyde died as they lived, by the gun.
whoa.
We're back exploring the Winchester House, lost in luxurious surroundings such as this magnificent grand ballroom. Can you see yourself dancing across this elegant parquet floor above a silver chandelier with a magical number
I do
of
remember this
13
room.
candles? Sarah could. She decided to give a ball soon after the room was completed. A gourmet supper was served off golden plates with rare wines sparkling in crystal goblets. Tuxedoed musicians played, and the butler formally announced the name of each arriving guest. Except there were no guests, and Sarah danced through the evening alone. Oh, if you're eccentric, it helps to be rich. For example, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, was a millionaire who liked to live life his own way, and like Sarah, he enjoyed the seclusion of a big house. One of Elvis's closest friends was George Klein, who's about to take us on a tour of Graceland Mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, and share some of his memories of Elvis and his cars.
Here at Graceland, Elvis would slip in and out of these famous gates in many of his exotic cars, and once he brought a beautiful Panamera home to show off to the guys, and he went out and he was going to take us for a ride in it. It wouldn't start. It was kind of embarrassing.
Wow.
Would you believe he took out
Like
a gun,
that
he
color,
shot the
though.
car, and the doggone thing started? Let's go up to the house now.
Let's go up there. It's like Final Fantasy V music.
Elvis was always in a hurry to get back here at Graceland. He loved it here. This was his sanctuary. his playground, if you will. A lot of great rooms inside. Come on, let's go inside and take a look. Graceland was filled with many grown-up toys. There was plenty of activity always.
And people
Elvis
just
could
like
play
made a
music
living
with his
talking about
friends,
Elvis after he
shoot
died.
pool, race slot cars,
Straight up
practice
of
karate.
his
And
careers.
there was always plenty of movie stars who loved to drop by and party with Elvis. And Elvis loved to party.
Yeah, that's Steve Carell's dad. Carell.
There are several of Elvis's cars on display here at Graceland, including these two beautiful Stutz, which Elvis used to love to flash around Memphis in. In fact, one Memphis Cadillac dealer remembers selling Elvis more than 100 luxury cars. One of his favorite Cadillacs was this stretch limo with gold-trimmed interior. It had all the comforts, a small bar, refrigerator, and TV set. Me and the boys, we loved joyriding in this beauty.
Me and the boys killed like 8 people in this thing and covered it up. Wouldn't have never
Hundreds of
known if I
thousands of
didn't said
people
it just
visit
now,
Graceland every year to relive and remember the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley.
Cat named Elvis. I think this is AI. The words aren't letting.
On the morning of September 5th, 1922, the round-the-clock work on this incredible house stopped. Sarah Winchester had died quietly in her sleep.
All the time.
Now she too travels with the spirits. Her most surprising legacy, it's in the garage. I'll show you.
Adam
Sarah
West just wandering
installed
around
this
the Winchester
oil-burning
house.
cast iron stove. The stove heated the water in this galvanized tank, which
Still
was
think that
fed up
the
into the
idea of the
ceiling
show
to
makes
this
no sense. There has not been any
simple device
ghosts, not really any
consisting of a pipe
mysteries.
and a rotating nozzle. It created
This is not a
spray
ghost show.
of cascading water. You see, Sarah invented the first car wash. One wonders what she would have thought of the automobiles we drive today, with their advanced safety features, sophisticated emission controls, and computers. Our high-tech world would probably boggle her imagination. Technology keeps changing every day, and the luxury car of today quickly becomes the museum piece of tomorrow. It makes you wonder about life in the future.
She was
What
so
kind of
dumb.
cars will
This
our
shit would
children be driving
make her
in the year
insane.
2000? Let's take a look at some likely candidates.
Fuck. Oh no, I don't like that. It all looks like some shit Elon Musk would make. This is just a normal Pontiac. Isn't that what Anakin flew in episode 3? Isn't that like the Jedi fighter that he flew around?
Well, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed probing into the mysteries behind these fabulous cars as much as I have. Not every automobile comes with a mystery attached to it.
I can't wait to
They
get
all
probed.
have the power to transport us wherever we want to go with speed and comfort. I hope that you'll give them the respect they deserve.
Heard that
Keep your eyes
the
and ears open and
proctologist
drive
drives a
safely.
brown probe.
Now, for all of us here on the program, I'd like to say thanks for looking in. I'm Adam West for the Great American Mystery Cars.
There was nothing scary about that video. What the fuck, Adam West? Mystery cars? There was the mystery, Adam. There was the mystery. Adam West is a fraud. Who'd have known? Who'd have known? Adam West. We're back in
The
1
following
minute.
feature has been rated PG by the Motion Picture Association of America. Parental guidance is suggested.
More pigs!
Here's to you, sweetheart.
Sucking my dick.
I see if my friend sent me any we people. 200? What happened? What happened to you? No! No! You killed him! No, stop it! No, please stop it! No, what are you doing? Oh my god! No, stop killing my weepy.
Hey, fuck you.
My love for you is like a truck. Berserker.
My name is Danny. I'm 35 years old. I live outside of Milwaukee. And on September 24th, 2012, I saw the Shrek in these woods. The Shrek is real. After a fight with my grandmother, I started walking around these woods. The green ogre run towards me. He smashed me down to the ground, and he put my face in the dirt. And he said, I know you are the strongest of your race. I must destroy you. He took his green freak hands and smashed glass with them. He said, eat your new dinner. He brought out the donkey. The donkey is not the cute, cuddly friend from the movies that we all know. The donkey is a hideous brown beast. He brought him out on a leash. And for every one human American tooth he has 5 million evil teeth. They forced me to masturbate my genitals until they were raw and broken, and they threw lunch meat at me and held a donkey at bay. Then, when they're arguing over who would get my top and who would get my bottom for sex, I decided this is the time to run. I ran away and found a police car. They did not believe my story. They arrested me for public nudity. and I'm here to claim my name. I will be the leader. I will be the general. I will lead the army into the woods to destroy him. What do I need? I need $50 million, 3 million guns, trees that can get out of the water and walk, 3 good Terminators, 5 Hulks, a Green Goblin costume with a RoboCop helmet, 6 Transformers, a cup of alien blood that is also acid, my dead dad to come back to life and tell me he loves me. Only you can help me destroy Shrek.
Hi, I'm Paul Willow from Lazy Horse Mattress and Bedding Supply. Woo! And I guarantee you'll hit the hay the second that your head hits the mattress.
The gatekeeper! I'd like to punish one of you now. You?
And now here's that old fishing expert himself, Fisherman Pete.
Hi there. Welcome to Fisherman. I'll be your guide on this fishing trip where we're going to have lots of fun and learn something about God's Word, too.
How often are we instructed to pray? A, daily. B, constantly. C, as needed. The correct answer is B, constantly.
All right. I'm back. Let's continue some games. I was playing games before. Got a couple others I want to check out. So let's do that. Go down. Oh no, it's another SCP. What is it? 087? SCP-087 is the one about the stairs, right? Let's do it. Takes a few seconds to load. It wants to like go online. No. No, I don't think so.
Okay, this is the fourth quest SCP-087. Does your flashlight work? Looks good. Please continue.
Hello? Pretty sure the flashlight is not working. See nothing. Hello?
Please look up.
What? What? Alright. Not playing that. I don't know what that was. Finding her. Game's about finding a girlfriend. It's quiet. Mic arm fucked up my microphone again. There we go. Should be better. I gotta just move that so they're not ever touching. It's happened twice now. Sir, any news about my daughter? Policeman. Aman, it's been around 2 months and we still don't have any updates. I'm sorry. How is that possible? You know where my daughter was last seen. Why haven't you gone there to search? Look, the place isn't normal. How's it sound now, by the way? Too loud now? Look, none of our officers are willing to go there and search the forest. Why? What's wrong with that place? The place is called Devil's Rest. Many of our officers believe that the demon is summoned by your daughter. What the hell? Are you even serious? Are you even educated? I'm sorry, Aman, but I can't help you. If you want, you can go there alone and search, but then we'll also have a missing case for you. Finding her. Aman, listen. Daughter's a demon. Forbidden ritual. Hi, Aman. Locate the 4 magical stones. What? Okay. My God. Paimon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's a Digimon. What the fuck? It's a Digimon, confirmed. I don't know about this game. I don't know about this one. Getting a little weird. Of bodies everywhere. Is that a monster? Is that a spider? Did you hear the sound it made when I picked up the stone? Dude, what the fuck? This is just a bunch of random shit someone threw together in a map. What? One of those. One of those games. Baby? What the fuck is this game? They should like check on the dude who made this game. missing one of the stones. Okay, guys, cars. Do you like automobile, right? I also enjoy automobile. I did it, I got the phone. I like automobile too. We gotta go into the gate. I brought the stones. What even is happening? It's like some torsos. You have brought me into this world. Paimon. There must be a compelling reason for my summoning. Don't worry, I have a good reason to summon you. Can't get my mic into the right spot. I mean, who is that guy? Don't worry, I have a good reason to summon you. Now you can bring the dead back to life. I want my daughter alive. Let's move that over. Hopefully nothing breaks. There we go. I can resurrect her, but it will not be without a price. I will give you a body to inhabit in this world. Very well, but to revive her, I demand her lifeless form. I brought it with me. Is there going to be like a dead child in this? Oh man, my fucking hair is all fucked up. This like weird ass tuft of hair coming out of my hat. Boom. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this was. There's more? Who's there? It's me, Aman. You applied for the job, right? Yeah, I applied for the job. I really want this opportunity. All right. Well, I got a job for you. Thank you so much. So the job's to take care of your house for 7 days? Die? Yes, that's right. There's an additional responsibility. I have my elderly grandmother, and she's very ill. She can't move from her bed. You'll need to take care of her as well. Okay. Daughter, what's your name? Paimon, please, guard her well. Okay. That was a sneak preview of the next game that he's making. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that one. All right. Boo's Revenge. Boo, rather. Okay, I already don't like this. Pepperoni for Leon Kennedy. Beth. Get in there. You fucking animal. Come on. Done. Medical? I don't know what the fuck you want from me. I need help. Fucking dying. Alright, you stay over there. What's going on with the gravity here? Hey, kid. Catch. I don't know what happened to my baby. Where'd they go? I don't know what to do. I lost my baby. He went into the wall. He's gone. Guys, that kid's gone. Oh, there he is. Give him medicine. Oh, he liked that. Hey, kid, catch. Oof. Kids love that shit. He's like a chicken nugget. All right, go to bed. I sleep in a racing car. Yeah, you like that? Sir, you cannot squeeze your child into tight places. Just leave them there to sleep. Alright. This thing's gonna kill us in the middle of the night. It'll kill us in the middle of the sleep. Feed them. Put them in the game room. Go shopping. What? There's more? I say that's all we got, kid. Here you go. Hey, you need food? All we got left is tomato. Just leave them there and go out buy food. Where's Paulina? What'd you guys do? Where'd she go? Son? She's dead. I don't know. Where is she? Well, we lost a kid. Pretty sure that's everything. Time to call the cops. Oh, I didn't even see this. Your father, I left home. Please don't search for me. Love you, Paulina. Oh. Now what do we do? Okay. Oh. Looks like the shelf is. Does he look like that? What? The fuck is this game? I think I'm just ahead now. Oh, I see. Battery and a tire. I like how he changed the doors to accommodate him. I don't see anything we could use. Oh. It needs some like sound and shit too. What the fuck? I did. The sink? I can't see anything. I don't think so. I think we're fucked. Whoa. Nah. can't get to the battery now. It sucks. I don't know. I don't know what to do. We're screwed because the battery fell. Yeah, I don't know about that. Nah. I didn't see no tire. Oh, no way. Fucking broken. I don't think we could do anything without the car battery, so. Yeah, that was all the games I downloaded for tonight. Nothing too crazy. The Mount Wood creature was neat. I think that was a pretty good one. Interesting amount of games. Let's check out. Something else, perhaps. Here we go.
This happened to me when I was in 4th grade. I used to visit my grandma during my summer vacation. It was a fairly large house with 2 floors and multiple sheds here and there. In the back of the house, there were these woods near one of the sheds. As a kid, I used to travel through these woods from time to time as I liked staying there with the trees and the birds. I know it's weird, but I looked for fossils as well as hoping to find some dinosaurs or something. One day I was digging, and I found a head of something that looked like a bull. I thought I found something like an old species of bison or something and rushed to my grandmother. I told her of my discovery, and she said it was just a bull that died years ago. I then asked why it was there, and she said people used to bury their dead animals there, and it acted like some sort of pet cemetery. I was kind of disappointed, but I still kept the skull because I found it to be really cool. My grandmother said to throw it away.
Was that a little better?
In the shed
Yeah, it
near
is
those
pretty
woods,
quiet.
thinking it would be safe there. I then returned the next day, hoping to find more skeletons, and I did. I found skulls of dogs, rats, and some unidentifiable bones. I used to store them in the shed near the woods. One time, I went a little too deep in the woods looking for such finds. Moving past a fence I found, I began roaming and lost my way. I knew my grandma would be
One
working on
time.
the farm and she wouldn't be home. I was so scared, and night was approaching. The only things I had with me was a hand shovel, a bag, and a small torch. I was moving as fast as I could, trying my best to find my house. As I was walking through the forest, I saw a shadow of something that looked like a deer with large antlers. But something was odd about it. It didn't seem to move, even after seeing me. Usually, deer run away after they see someone, and I was surprised that it didn't. Suddenly, it turned to me, with its glowing bright eyes. And then to my horror, I noticed it didn't have the body of a deer. It was something else entirely. It had the legs of what seemed like a dog with paws, and the body with human-like features. I couldn't see any fur. Instead, I saw skin. Rotting skin with dry blood and maggots.
Maggot.
I slowly backed away from that thing, and to my surprise,
What do you think it was?
charged at me with a loud roar. I ran without any aim through the thick woods with that thing right behind me with its glowing eyes and disproportionate body. I ran through every thorny bush and climbed on every ledge until I saw the light of home. I opened the back door and stormed in, closing the door behind me. I peeked through a semi-visible window on the door to see that creature attempting to move up the stairs near the woods to my house. But it stopped midway, turning its bulky head here and there, and then left. I could see its front legs were bigger than its hind legs, like that of a gorilla. I ran to my grandma's room, and she asked me where I was all this time and that she was worried about me. I kept quiet, and I lied that I was just around the backyard, and she warned me not to go in the woods without her accompanying me. The very next day, I went to go check those skulls I had collected in the shed near the woods to throw them away, as I thought this creature had something to do with those bones, but they were already gone. I still wonder to this day what that creature was and what it wanted with me.
What that creature was.
I woke up in the middle of the night with my cousin sleeping next to me. This happened about 2 or 3 years ago.
You never had skull blood?
At our grandparents' house, but they weren't home since they had been invited to a party. It was just the two of us, and we were old enough to stay alone. I got up to get a cup of water, and as I walked back to my bed, I heard scratching at the window next to where my cousin and I were sleeping. I was too afraid to remove the curtain, so I just laid back down. But then, I heard the scratching again, and I was on the verge of tears. Being a teenager, my mind was running wild, and I couldn't help but imagine seeing two glowing eyes in the dark. I have had night terrors before, which made my fear of the dark even worse. I woke up my cousin, who was initially frustrated with me, but then he agreed to check the window. He put his hand on the curtain, pulled it back.
It's like an
and
alarm
suddenly,
sound.
There was a high-pitched scream. I started crying uncontrollably, but my cousin covered my mouth and jumped onto the bed, warning me that it was a skinwalker and that it might hurt us. The creature screamed again, and I was crying so hard but silently. My cousin told me that when he pulled the curtain back, he saw it running on the walls like a deformed wolf, and that it
running
jumped
on the
up balcony
walls
and hopped off, screaming all along. I was in such terror that I couldn't believe what I was experiencing. We lived in the city. This was unheard of. After the screams of the creature, I passed out. When I woke up, my cousin told me that nothing else had happened. We immediately ran outside in the fresh morning sunlight and checked the windows. There were long and jagged scratch marks on the windows and walls, and we could see paw and human prints on the walls. I went to check on the pet goldfish that my dad had left outside in a bowl of water, and to my surprise, they were all gone. Only a puddle of water remained on the ground. We didn't tell our grandparents because we were afraid of something bad happening to us. You might not want to believe me, but I know what happened that night. The claw marks, high-pitched screams, footprints, and everything my cousin saw will stick with us forever. My name is Zach.
The window.
And I have a girlfriend named Mira. One day, Mira and I were walking towards school when we saw Jace and Vasco. I asked them what they were doing, and they said Vasco was going to the school alone later because there is an old story from our school about a woman in the very back corner of an empty hallway who is constantly looking for her child at midnight. If she sees you, she's going to ask you if you've seen her child. Upon hearing the news, I wanted to get my girlfriend's attention. This was creepy. Jace also said that you have to write a signature. It's part of the ritual, and the plan is to get to the school around midnight. I said, "What? Vasco can't do that. Look at him shaking over there." I chuckled, and then Jace replied, "Then you should go." I got goosebumps and replied, Yeah, okay, I guess I can." A few hours passed and it was midnight. I brought a doll just in case this story turned out to be true and headed for the school. I could see Jace and Vasco from far away, keeping their distance. So we had a little chit-chat and then I went inside the school. I walked and walked, and then someone or something appeared in front of me. There was a woman who had a hat, short hair, and was smiling creepily at me. She said, "You are holding my baby. You are holding my baby. You are holding my baby." And I said, yes, she's your baby. And then I took off down some hallway, but found myself trapped in a dead end. The rain was pouring down, and it echoed off the roof. Lightning reflected in the window, which got my attention, and I could see there is a picture of the same woman looking back at me. I wrote down my signature as fast as I could and got back outside. We decided to go home, and my girlfriend Mira, Jace, and Vasco were all shocked when I told them what happened. I wrote my signature on the window and not in the picture. Jace nervously asked me if I was joking, and I said I wasn't. Does that mean...
Does that mean...
This story took place in Sylhet, Bangladesh, and was experienced by my uncle, who was around 20 at the time. My uncle and 4 of my other cousins went on a fishing trip, and by the time they started making their way back to the village, it was getting dark. As there is very little street lighting in the rural areas of Bangladesh, and the journey back home was a few hours' distance, they decided to set up camp and continue their journey the following day. They decided that 2 members of the group would stay awake for 3 hours each.
The channel's called WANSEE.
To keep
WANSEE.
and equipment, as well as their own safety. My uncle was in the first group to sleep, so after 3 hours, he and one of my other cousins woke up to keep watch while the others slept. The cousin who was meant to keep watch with my uncle at the time was feeling very drowsy. My uncle requested that he got some rest and he could keep watch by himself. While keeping watch, my uncle heard a sound coming from nearby bushes and trees. Assuming it was a stray animal attracted to the fish, he went with his stick and poked the bushes, and the sound stopped. When he turned away, he heard the sound again and was curious as to what it was and where it was coming from. He went through the bushes and found a small clearing with a very tall tree. On further observation, my uncle noticed a figure of a woman sitting at the top of the tree. She had long, dark hair, which cascaded all the way down to the bottom of the trunk. She had pale skin and was of a thin build. My uncle, who is a quick thinker, grabbed the woman's hair, as he knew she was not a human being, but a jinn. Jinn refers to a ghost or demon commonly seen in rural Bangladesh, and he knew if he did not act fast, he and the others were not going to make it to the morning. A jinn's hair is its weak point, and if a person can grab hold of it, the jinn is powerless and cannot harm the person. The woman instantly screamed when he grabbed her hair and started pulling away, but my uncle clenched his fist and did not let go. He knew if he did, he would regret it. The jinn begged and pleaded with him and said she would make him rich and powerful if he let her hair go. But my uncle clung on with all his strength.
Rich and
After
powerful?
a long time, the jinn gave up, and my uncle, who was really exhausted, fell asleep with his hands still clenched on the jinn's hair. He woke up in the morning and found all my cousins surrounding him, staring at him, looking very confused. When he looked up at them and asked why they were surrounding him, they pointed at his hand. He looked down and saw a dead crow in his hand, jet black, like the jinn's hair he had been holding on to all night long.
Black. Company. The man
This story
killed
took place
Jack
a few
Black.
years ago when I was working at my old job in London, England. I was a manager there, and the company I worked for helped people gain skills and find employment. A woman came into the office, and the receptionist had her fill out the application form to complete the course. Part of the registration was made up of an initial assessment on the computer.
This is the
which would
Assassin
determine
Rapper
the level
song.
the person was working at, so we could
This
see
is
their
the
strengths
song.
and weaknesses. The woman was sat at the computer, staring at a blank screen for a long
Heard it a million
time,
times.
and it was getting late. As the office was closing shortly, the receptionist asked the woman if she is happy to come back at a later date to finish the assessment. The woman did not respond and continued to stare at the blank computer screen. The receptionist then came to me and asked if I could speak to the woman and inform her that we are closing the office. I went over to her and asked if she's okay and let her know that we are closing shortly. She asked if she could speak to me privately. I accepted and took her into my office. The woman opened up and started talking to me about how her husband recently died and that he often visits her, especially at night. I thought these claims were extremely strange. I found myself just nodding and making minimal conversation as I wanted to get out of the office and enjoy the rest of my day. The woman then said something which made me freeze. She said her husband was now in the office with us. I noticed her looking over my shoulder.
Fuck,
and I
he's
instantly
in the
felt the room get
office
colder.
with
I could feel
us.
sweat on my forehead, and my hand.
Look how
was
they draw
trembling.
sweat in
I
these.
had
How
never
they're
been
always
so
just like
scared in my life.
drippy.
I quickly
A little
texted
drippy.
the receptionist under the desk and told her to come to the room and say there had been an emergency and I needed to leave. She listened, and the receptionist came to the room and told me I have an important phone call I couldn't miss, to which the woman replied,
you're talking about.
She is happy to wait for me. I told her the office is now closed and we need to leave the building as the cleaners need to come and do their job. She finally left the office, taking the coldness with her. I went to security and informed him to never let her back in if she was ever to come back, but she never did, and I never saw her again.
Many such cases. It does happen. You know, it happens a lot. You never know what you're going to get.
When I was little, carpet, and my...
What are these stories?
When I was little,
maybe
8 years old, we had a neighbor who was really odd.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let's find another one to watch. About... This guy has any videos about Alien. There's never like any Alien videos. That was a bad sentence. Never any video about Alien. True tapestry horror story.
I'm a 25-year-old guy from Australia, and this happened to me when I was around 13 years old. I've lived in the same house for my entire life. My parents bought the house and moved in before my older sister and I were born. When they moved in, there was a huge tapestry of Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper hanging on the wall in the hallway. My parents found it a bit strange, as the previous owners took all the other furniture and pictures with them when they moved out. As the tapestry covered a large, empty space of the wall, they decided to just leave it hanging there. For context, my bedroom door was directly across from the tapestry in the hallway, such that when my bedroom door was open and I was lying on my bed, I could see it hanging on the wall directly through my open bedroom door.
Tapestry.
As a little kid, I always used to sleep with my bedroom door open, and for some reason, the tapestry always gave me the creeps. I hated looking at it through my open door, especially at night. Over the years, I eventually just got used to it. When I was 13, my parents decided to buy me a double bed. I was so excited, and as soon as I got to use my new bed, I always slept in the same position on the left side of the bed, facing my left bedroom wall. A year or so later, my dad decided to repaint the hallway a different color, and during that time, he had to take the tapestry down. My parents then decided that the hallway looked better without the tapestry, so they didn't hang it back up. After a few nights of the tapestry being down, I had a horrible nightmare. In the nightmare, I was lying in my bed just like I was before I fell asleep. I then looked up, and there was a black, demon-looking creature climbing up my right side bedroom wall, and I was absolutely terrified. It had black, scaly-looking skin, a long, pointed tail, and completely black eyes with red slit-like pupils, the kind that goats have. It opened its mouth and made an awful screaming sound and revealed its sharp, pointed teeth. I then woke up. My heart was racing, and I was covered in sweat. I was on the right side of my double bed, facing the wall that the demon was climbing up in my nightmare. I was instantly freaked out, because I always slept on the left side of my double bed, facing the opposite wall. I eventually calmed down enough to go back to sleep. Almost every night for around the next month, I kept having the same nightmare over and over again, and also kept waking up facing that same wall on the opposite side of my bed that I didn't sleep on. Each night, I found it harder and harder to wake myself up and pull myself out of that nightmare. It got to the point where I was scared to fall asleep, as I worried that eventually, one night, I wouldn't be able to wake myself up, and I didn't want to find out what would happen to me in the nightmare if I couldn't. I went for several nights with only 1 or 2 hours of sleep, and then without sleeping altogether. Eventually, time passed, and the nightmare stopped. Looking back at it now, it makes me wonder, Why did the previous owners of our house put up the tapestry in the first place, and then decide to leave it there when they moved out? It makes me think that they might have hung it up for a reason.
Fucking deal with it.
Maybe as some kind of protection from
Get rid of it.
creature. I'm not a religious person, but maybe they believed that the depiction of Jesus in the tapestry would protect them and keep the demon away. All I know is that soon after we took it down, the nightmares started. Over a decade later, I still get chills when I think about those nightmares. I can still picture the demon-like creature so clearly in my mind. I hope I never have to see it ever again.
I hope I never have to see it again.
When I was 16 years old, I had this experience with my then girlfriend, Samantha. Samantha lived in a neighboring county and didn't drive, so we rarely saw each other during the school week.
Samantha went to another school? You guys don't know her. Don't worry about it.
We agreed to skip school on Monday to spend time together. Being that it was a Monday, I knew my father and stepmother would be at work. Said we'd have the house to ourselves to play video games and just curl up on the couch to watch TV together with no distractions. The house I lived in was located in a suburban-style neighborhood, surrounded by rural countryside and woods. It was a 2-story home with 3 beds upstairs and 1 downstairs.
Yeah, you wouldn't know her. She's
and
from another
the
school.
entire kitchen area was covered in wood flooring. More on that later. The house also had a security system with sensors on all entry doors and a motion sensor pointed down toward the end of the main hallway beyond the foyer that led out into the kitchen. Samantha and I were upstairs looking through my brother's extensive baseball card collection and playing silly games like Never Have I Ever, when we both heard someone walking around downstairs. Samantha heard it first, then I paused and I heard it too. We both froze. Samantha asked, "Could one of your parents be home?" We sat in complete silence in my room, listening through the open bedroom door. We could hear footsteps in the kitchen, back and forth along the hardwood floor, and the sound of a paper bag ruffling, like the ones used at some grocery stores. The footsteps would progress slowly for several seconds, then stop. A paper bag would ruffle, then proceed for several more seconds, and the pantry door could be heard opening with its all too familiar squeak that was unmistakable to me, having lived there. Samantha whispered, "Are they putting groceries away?" I said, "It's got to be my stepmom. She's the only one who does the grocery shopping." My stepmom was far less forgiving than my dad. And being that I was skipping school with a girl in my room alone, I knew I'd be in deep shit if we got caught. Immediately, I told Samantha we needed to crawl out of my bedroom window onto the roof and hide until she left. We sat on the roof facing the street, waiting for nearly 45 minutes, just watching the driveway for my stepmom to leave, but she never did. And Samantha was getting impatient, as it was unbearably hot on the black shingled roof. Finally, I told her to stay put on the roof and keep a lookout a bit longer while I went back inside to confront my stepmom. I told Samantha I'll just tell her I was sick this morning and decided to stay home from school. I had no idea how I would get Samantha out of there, but keep in mind, I wasn't prepared for this, to say the least. As I walked into the kitchen, I called out to my stepmom, but no one replied. My parents' room was also downstairs, so I walked through the room, but no one was there. I proceeded to check every room in the house, but to my surprise, the house was completely empty. I even checked the garage, but it was empty. All of the entry doors were closed and locked, and that's when the realization hit me. All of the entry doors beep when they open, including the door leading out to the garage. And neither Samantha nor I heard any doors open, including the garage door, which could be easily heard from my bedroom, as it was directly below. Lastly, I opened the pantry, hoping to cast doubt on this revelation, but I couldn't find a single new item that wasn't in there the night before. A cold chill ran down my spine. I ran upstairs and brought Samantha down from the roof, asking her if she saw anyone come or go. She saw no one. I never believed in ghosts before this day, and honestly, I wish I had a rational explanation for the whole experience. If my girlfriend hadn't been there to witness it with me, then I would probably chalk it all up to my mind playing tricks on me. I never actually saw a ghost, so I can't say for sure what it was, but I can tell you what we heard was real and convincing, to the point that my girlfriend and I never doubted for a second at that moment that it was anything other than a person in my house putting groceries away.
The fuck kind of story was that? The fuck was that? How about... Yeah, that wasn't very good. I gotta say.
This is a true story that happened to my older brother, Matthew. Matthew was just 16 years old when this happened. And just to let you know, Matthew wasn't strongly built, but had a pretty face and was popular with other kids at school.
Okay.
He did not believe in ghosts or any supernatural beings. He was a brave brother who would protect me when I was in danger. Anyways, my brother told me this about a week after the incident. He came back after a long day at school, sat on the couch for a little bit just to unwind, and had about an hour break. After that, the usual, he did his homework, studied a bit, talked to some of his friends, he ate his dinner, and went to bed around 12 a.m. after watching a movie.
It was coming out of his eye.
He woke up around 3:40 a.m. because he was thirsty and wanted a glass of water, so he headed downstairs towards the kitchen. As he was coming back up the stairs with the bottle of water, he saw a young boy on the staircase. He got a bit freaked out and just froze and stood there. A minute passed by when Matthew suddenly fell on the ground, face towards the wall and covered in sweat. He couldn't let out a scream. He was just lying there. He could now see the boy on top of him, and Matthew could clearly see the boy's face with the help of the moonlight that came from the window. The boy did not have any eyelids or eyebrows. It was just 2 red dots on his face. It didn't have any lips, just a crack across his face. And he smiled ear to ear with sharp teeth. My brother was truly terrified. The creature was now face to face with Matthew. The creature was breathing heavily, mumbling words he couldn't understand. Suddenly and painfully, he bit into Matthew's neck and passed out. He woke up on his bed the next morning. He went to brush his teeth, and he saw in the reflection a red bruise on his neck. He had told Mom and Dad about what he had seen last night, but they just blew him off and said he probably had a nightmare. Or maybe some big bug bit him.
Big bug
He
bit him.
confided in me because he knew that I would at least believe him. Of course I did. He was my brave brother. Nowadays, he would feel extremely cold and fall sick every now and then. The doctors told us that he was affected by the lockdown and needs to go out once in a while. I'm extremely worried for him, and I hope the creature that had haunted him that night isn't responsible for his illness. My name is Justina, and this story happened at my friend's house. It was finally the day. I was going to my best friend's house for a sleepover. Her name is Christina, and she had a really cute small dog. She was already standing in front of the house waiting for me. When I came to see her, she rushed to open the door
I feel like this
so
dog
we can
is gonna
watch
die.
TikTok and play video games all night. We were the type of girls who would eat popcorn, watch scary movies, and play video games. It was around 11 p.m., and we were bored, so Christina said, "Want to play hide and seek in the dark?" I wasn't really sure, because I'm pretty scared after watching so many scary movies, but I said yes.
That's just
so
a
she wouldn't be
dog.
sad. "Okay," I said, "I'll go hide." And we saw the broken glass. A hide and seek in the dark. I wasn't really sure, because I'm pretty scared after watching so many scary movies, but I said yes, so she wouldn't be sad. "Okay," I said, "I'll go hide, and you start counting to 20. I started to count. 1, 2, 3. Time passes by. 9, 10, 11. I opened my eyes a bit just to see if I can see her, but then I had to stop counting because I had a feeling that something was behind the bed. I couldn't really see it, but it looked really dark. I was kind of naive at the time, and I wanted to look behind the bed to see what was there. I was so close to it, and I could almost see its face. But then Christina shouted, "Hey, why did you stop counting? What happened?" No, everything's fine," I said. "I was just thinking about something." I lied to her. So she
everything's
wouldn't be
fine.
scared. I
Yo,
didn't
Reckless.
know I did a big mistake
Thanks
by
for the raid,
talking
man.
so
What's going on?
loudly. The thing turned her head
Good to
at
see
me,
you. Hope you had a good stream.
and she was covered in blood.
Watching some
I
dumb
saw
shit.
she was eating Christina's dog.
Oh
I
no.
screamed so loudly.
I got
and
eaten.
Christina rushed to the bedroom. When she came, she screamed too because she saw her dead dog. The creature was already gone, and I wanted to tell her what I saw, but right at that time, a glass fell
Your
from the
dog just
kitchen
got
table.
eaten.
It was so loud in that quiet house. We both screamed and ran into the kitchen so fast we almost fell down the stairs. We turned on the lights in the kitchen and we saw the broken glass. We were so terrified that we hid under the sofa. Christina was under the sofa already and I was coming behind her. But suddenly, all the cabinets in the kitchen opened and we both screamed and ran under the sofa. 5 minutes later, we saw some shadows of someone. We thought it might be Christina's parents, so we started to feel better. But the creature came, and we suddenly saw its legs. Christina was about to scream again, so I quickly covered her mouth with my hand. The lights were on, so I could finally see its legs. They were really dark and slimy. It was summertime, so we always left the door to the garden open. The creature stood in the middle of the kitchen for 3 minutes and went to the garden and ran away. We were under the sofa for another 10 minutes, and then we slowly got out from under it. We didn't hear or see anything, so we quickly took our phones and ran to Christina's neighborhood house. We called Christina's parents, but they didn't believe us. Christina's parents came home, and we cried all night, and we were hiding under our blankets. And yeah, if you're wondering what happened to Christina's dog, well, he wasn't there. He just disappeared, even though I know the creature ate it all. I wonder what
Matt
would have
brought me
happened
here and I have
if
been
didn't
drinking and
cover
I'm in a giving
Christina's
mood.
mouth under the sofa when the creature saw
Yo,
us.
thanks, dude.
Would we be dead?
Came just in time for a weird purple monster. Apparently, whatever the fuck that was.
Hey guys, today I would like to introduce you to things.
Hey, guys.
Present the most
Here we go.
I used to live in a small neighborhood with a large amount of woods next to our town. One day, my parents left me at home with my brother while they dropped my other brother off at football practice. That was the starting point. They had to stop abruptly in the middle of the road in the woods when they were driving back home.
I think this monster is
And that
insane.
memory has been bothering my dad. Even now, he said. He said that he definitely saw something
Large
that
amount
day
of woods.
and remembered what it looked like. It was an extremely thin figure, around 7 to 8 feet tall. He was sure that it wasn't a bear because when it saw their car, the thing stood up on 2 legs and ran away with a strange form. It had lots of blotches on certain parts of its body, while other parts were losing hair or had none at all. And its back looked broken and poorly arched when it ran back into the woods. When my parents had warned me about it,
His
even
dad
then,
is like fucked up.
I never knew what it was.
Kid's just like,
After I
okay.
turned 10 years old, one day I had to stay home alone while my parents went to visit my uncle. So I invited 7 of my friends over, who I'll call Bella, Riley, Max, John, Kayla, Shannon, and Penelope.
What the fuck?
We had fun playing video games, watching movies, and things like that
kids
until
over?
midnight. Then I suddenly remembered that thing my dad had seen a few years ago. Hey, why don't we go searching for that creature? Looking at each other, we thought it would be a fun idea to try. So we grabbed our flashlights and headed out into the woods. Once we walked in, everything mysteriously got way creepier, and the weird sounds got louder. The whole area was totally dark, and the fear of getting lost was affecting all of us. Suddenly, we heard a loud crunching noise. We shined the flashlight in the direction of the sound, and finally, we saw it. There were some dead carcasses of deer.
The deer looks so derpy.
Some other big animal. At first, I thought it might be a bear that was eating off of those carcasses. However, that's not what it was. The thin, hairy, and almost 8-foot-tall creature was there. It looked at us with its blood-stained, sharp teeth and bloodshot eyes. Then it slowly got up and let out a penetrating howl. Not caring if branches hit us or if we
Penetrating
got cut or bruised,
howl.
we all screamed and ran away through the woods. We didn't know whether it was chasing after us or not, but we didn't care. We just needed to get back home as soon as possible. Finally, we jumped over the creek that was right in front of my house, ran up the hill into my house, and then locked the door. Everybody all right? Breathing hard, I looked at my friends, and then I realized something. Penelope was gone. We must have lost her in the woods somewhere as we ran away. Being terrified, I pulled out my cell phone with trembling hands, called 911, and told them about our situation. Within 15 minutes, paramedics, police, and our parents arrived. We explained again what we had seen and what happened to Penelope. The police searched the entire forest, but never found the thing or Penelope either. The only thing that had been discovered was some bloodstains of hers. Well, I'm 12 years old now, and none of us speak about what happened that day.
Well,
the search for Penelope has been going on, but I'm positive that she's dead. Not just me. We all do. I recently did research on the thing and noticed that many other people had gone missing in my woods, mostly kids, and Penelope's disappearance made her the 8th child to go missing in those woods. I now no longer go into my woods because I'm afraid that if I do, that thing will find me one day, and I will end up like Penelope.
What is it? It just looks stupid. Didn't even know what he was. All right. How about...
Hey guys, today.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
When I was 16, my parents, brother, and I were living in an apartment on the 4th floor. Every night, we heard crazy laughing outside of our house. At first, we just thought it could have been a neighbor taking care of a sick person, so we didn't worry about it. Then one night, I heard laughing again. It was 11 p.m., and everyone in my house was sleeping. I got out of bed and looked out the window, and I saw nothing. And as soon as I looked out the window, the laughing stopped. It was kind of weird, but anyway, I just went back into bed and slept. After that, I had to use the bathroom at 4:30 a.m. The bathroom was downstairs in the hall, and the bathroom window was facing a big field of grass and a parking lot. After I finished using the bathroom and washed my hands, I heard that crazy loud laugh again for about a whole 30 seconds. It sounded like this person didn't even get tired. He seemed that he needed to catch his breath from this loud and long laughing. I proceeded to look out the window again, and then I saw a group of about 5 dogs going crazy around something.
Why were they?
And when the dogs moved, I absolutely felt fear. There was something, another dog. I think it was a dog. It had a dog body and paws, but not a dog face. It had a human face, and it was staring at me. It looked at me for a minute and then started to slowly smile, and then laughed again. And that was the same voice that I've heard constantly. I ran to my room, but I couldn't go back to sleep. The next morning, I told my parents and brother what had happened, and they thought I had a nightmare. I said that I swear it wasn't a nightmare, but they didn't believe me. They just laughed and ignored it. Everything felt real. I know it was 100% real. But the next few days went by, and I didn't hear anything. And one day, it was getting quite dark outside. I did end up getting a cold from swimming, so my parents and brother went out grocery shopping without me. It was 9 p.m., and I took my dog for a walk for a little while. There was an abandoned house down the block, and my dog took off running to a bush suddenly. It was like something caught his attention. I ran after my dog, and literally, I had to crawl under a fence to go and get him. When I finished crawling under the fence, I ended up cutting my knee. But thankfully, I got my dog, and when I looked up, there that thing was. That dog with a human face. We were face to face. It had glowing green eyes, and it had definitely human face features, and the head was bald. I screamed, and it just started that scary laughing again. I ran away with my dog and came back home. Well, I'm 18 now, and my family and I moved away to another place. I don't know what the heck that thing was, and why I've seen it twice. But I'm just glad that I don't see it anymore.
What do you think it was? Was the dog? No. Couldn't have been. What about tree people?
I was 15. I was at my boyfriend's house and it was about 10:30 p.m. We were sitting on his trampoline in his backyard, which faces a small park behind his house. His yard is on a ground level, about a meter above the ground level the park is on, and his fence is on that lower level. So by sitting on the trampoline, we could see out into the darkness of the park.
Oh, you don't want the Korean subs?
Which was just slightly illuminated by his yard lights. We're talking when suddenly I feel an eerie chill, like we're being watched, like something wants us to know we're being watched. I remember glancing all over the place and jumping at the smallest sounds of the night. My boyfriend was laughing at me, and all before he suddenly stilled and rose up onto his knees to look at something in the park.
Hey, there's a man watching us from that tree over there.
Those words still chill me to the core. I froze and asked him to tell me what he was doing. He told me that the man was very tall, almost halfway up the tree, which was a large eucalyptus, and that only his head and shoulder were really visible, and that his eyes were glowing or reflecting the light from his yard lights. I wondered if he was lying and making fun of me again for being paranoid earlier, so I sat up and leaned over him to see the thing next to the tree. There it was. It was tall and darker than the shadows of the trees, and wasn't lit up like the trees were from the lights. Its eyes were shining brightly, and it was exceptionally tall. It couldn't be a man, if not for the shoulder and arm draped over the tree, and so it wasn't an animal either. I fell back onto the trampoline, and my boyfriend told me to be quiet and to start moving back towards the house. It was moving towards us. I shook my head. I didn't want to move. I couldn't even bring myself to move.
It's like that thing earlier today, the long legs game. It's the same guy.
I don't know, but I remember he had to force me up, swearing loudly and telling me it was nearly at the fence. I got up and caught a glance of a figure nearly across the short distance from the trees to his yard, and I booked it to the stairs up to his front door. I glanced back to look again, and my boyfriend yelled at me not to, and that he was climbing over the fence. And I somehow moved even faster and made it to the door without tripping up the stairs and breaking a leg. He told me again it had been trying to climb over the fence when I slowed down to take
Got
a
those
look.
Yowie hands.
His family is very religious, and his father swears it was a demon trying to test their faith or something, but I don't think it was. I had another encounter maybe a month later. My boyfriend told me that a figure was watching me from exposed ceiling beams of my old barn-like house during a FaceTime call later.
Yeah, how would the demon be tempting her? What is that? That means like, what do you mean? Tempting her with what? Demon? What?
At night. Maybe a shadow man. Maybe an Australian version of a skinwalker.
Maybe an Australian.
I'm not really sure, and I'm 19 now, and I still can't stop thinking about what happened.
I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of weird if that happened to you. Anyone ever have that happen to them? Anybody?
I live in Limburg. That is the most southern province of the Netherlands. I'm 20 years old, and all my life I've been wanting to work as a caretaker for people with a disability. Just a few months ago, my dream came true, and now I work as a full-time caretaker at a living facility in Maastricht. At this facility, my story takes place. The living facility is positioned just outside of Maastricht City. Before the building became a housing facility, it was a laundromat for the people living on that street.
Normie laundromat?
The facility consists of 3 houses that are internally connected. Each one can house 8 people. That makes a total of 24 patients that live in the facility. Each patient has his or her own room, ranging from small to large, to a separate bathroom and kitchen, to a shared bathroom in the hallway. I first began working at this facility when I was just 17 years old, as an intern for my education.
Tell me, Bethe.
The story starts 2 years ago, when one of my patients that had lived there for 3 years moved out to live at another facility. His family claimed that the patient did not feel safe in his room because he would hear knocking coming from his closet. We made our apologies for the inconvenience, but didn't think much of it. 1 month later, when the room was cleaned and disinfected, a new patient came to live in the empty room. It was an elderly man, who I'll just refer to as Rick.
The writing on the ambulance was
Rick
backwards.
was a warm and
Now that's
kind-hearted man
Dutch.
who always loved talking about horses that he had as a child, as well as his great love for Russian opera. You'd always catch him sneaking into the kitchen to get a snack, or hear him sing opera. I must admit, he had quite a powerful and wonderful voice. At first, he would bid us a good night before he went to bed. But as time went by, Rick seemed more and more distressed. He didn't eat and didn't drink as much as he used to.
It's Rick.
And he lost weight at a troubling rate.
He
would
became
sit quietly on the couch,
a pickle.
staring blankly at nothing. When asked what was wrong, he would say that he had a terrible nightmare of some kind of creature lurking in his closet. My colleagues and I debated whether or not he could be getting Alzheimer's and would need testing for it. He had been tested, but nothing came out of those tests. Every night, Rick would scream us awake, and when we came into the room, he'd be sitting on his bed, trembling and pointing at the closet. He'd say that something crawled out of the closet and joined him in his bed. He described this creature as being skinny, even bony, with rotting meat hanging from its bones. The creature had green eyes, the same color as his deceased mother, and huge fingers that ended in claws. The creature's face was that of a human skull, those green eyes being nothing more than small lights, and a mouth that was filled with sharp teeth, like a crocodile. The creature would lie next to him in his bed, wrapping its claws around his body. Rick described so vividly how he could smell the horrible scent of decay as the creature opened his mouth to whisper in his ear, "Get out! This is not your home." Rick would cover his ears as he said that, and he would soil himself. Poor Rick. My colleague checked the closet,
Damn, Rick.
but there was nothing there, and the only thing we could say was that everything was going to be fine. Fast forward about a month later, and Rick would wake up with markings all over his body. Deep scratches that appeared to be claw marks. There were even bite marks that were deeper and more animalistic than any human bite. Rick would not want to go into his room anymore, and he would bring his dinner to his room and place it at the door of his closet. My colleagues would take the food away, much to Rick's horror. He'd say that we would make the creature angry, and if it was angry, it would punish him. I feel so sorry for him, especially seeing the fear in his eyes as we scolded him and took away the plate. There was 2 weeks of this, the same thing happening with Rick. One of my closest colleagues and I were working the night shift one night. We were making our usual rounds, checking if everyone was sleeping and all the machinery was still up and running. That was when we heard a horrible, bone-chilling scream echo through the building. The scream came from Rick's room. We stormed in, throwing the door open hard, revealing a horrible sight. Rick was lying on his back in his bed, while he was grasping for air. He was clawing at his neck and chest, ripping the flesh off, making bloody gashes all over his upper body. His bed and himself were covered in blood, and there was a trace of blood leading to his closet, which was now slightly opened. My colleagues dialed 112. That's the emergency line in the Netherlands. While I desperately tried to stop Rick from clawing,
I would never remember that.
The only thing Rick did was scream, as if possessed, and stared at the ceiling. After what seemed like forever, the ambulance came and took Rick away. A week later, we received the sad news that Rick had died. The room once again
Rick
was
ranches.
The blood was cleaned up by a cleaning company and the room would be occupied soon enough. But even before the room was occupied, I found another patient standing in the room in front of that closet. "Hey, what are you doing in here?" I asked her as I walked into the room. The patient had stared at me and had muttered,
"This room should not be occupied ever again. It is angering him."
Who's him?" I asked with a shaky voice.
"You know, like
Rick Ranches.
the devil who lived in the closet."
After she said that, she walked out of the room and left me breathless. 2 weeks later, that same patient moved into the room. I don't know why she was placed in that room, but I do know that she too changed. She can't remember her own name now, and all she does is sit in front of that closet, talking to the devil. I don't know what's going on at my work, but strange things keep happening. Colleagues tell stories of
staying in the
hearing
closet.
footsteps in the hallways. Others hear whispers in the garden, and one even claimed to have been attacked by a shadow demon. Whatever's going on, one thing is for sure. The creature in the closet is real, and he's not happy about our patient living in his room.
Why would he fucking care? Why do they just advertise K-pop at the end of their videos sometimes? Not like just K-pop. Oh, we're getting an ad, folks. Ad time. That was silly. It was silly. Looking for one particular video. Where is it? Oh man, I can't find the video now.
Does your computer run slow?
Come on.
Or just freeze and crash?
No!
Does it take forever to start up?
Still waiting.
You need the amazing Wind Cleaner, the easiest way to get all that hidden junk off your computer. Simply plug in our unique USB, and with just one click, Wind Cleaner starts working automatically. It sorts through your hard drive, eliminating useless files and programs. Within minutes, that slow computer is running like new. Look, the competition is $50, and look at all those no's. Wind Cleaner is
Look at all those
$19.99, and look at all those yeses. Look, over time, everyone's computer's memory fills with junk, cookies, even viruses. But Wind Cleaner instantly starts to clean and repair your PC with just one click, optimizing performance and protecting you from future problems. You get super fast startups, speedy downloads, blazing fast gaming, and a much quicker internet experience.
I love the gaming.
It's got the editor's rating of 5 stars from CNET and rave reviews from PC Answers. So don't buy a new computer. Don't pay expensive technicians, and don't buy downloads with hidden...
Hidden what?
Not every as seen on TV.
Hidden what?
Does your computer run slow?
Does your computer kill people when you go to sleep at night without you knowing about it? Does your computer hate humans? Let me tell you.
Transforms your... When nature calls in the middle of the night, that bathroom light is blinding bright. Don't stumble around in the dark and miss the mark. Now, there's Bowl Light, the new LED motion-activated light that transforms your toilet into a soft and gentle night light. Watch. Just hook Bowl Light onto any toilet. Then select the color you love and let the magic begin. In the dark, motion-activated Bowl Light lights up the night. When you walk away, it turns off automatically.
Bathroom light used to wake me up at
Jim.
night. Now with Bowl Light, the soft ambient light lets me see, but it doesn't wake me up.
Bowl Light even changes colors: blue, yellow, red, white, green, aqua, purple. It's a rainbow
Colors
to match your mood
Oh.
and decor.
Do your visits to the John go on and on and on? That bright light can keep you up all night, but Bolite lights up the way without waking you up.
My husband gets up 3 to 4 times a night and wakes me up every time. Now I get to stay asleep.
Bolite is perfect for kids' bathrooms too. Light up the way and kids can aim to please, so your toilets stay clean. Even toilet training is easy peasy with Bolite.
Get in the toilet.
Always afraid of going to the bathroom in the dark. Now, with Bolite, he sees exactly where he has to go, and he can pick his favorite color.
If you're tired of stumbling in the night and exhausted from the bathroom's blinding light, order Bolite, the amazing new nightlight today.
Today.
Everybody's thirsty for more, but sometimes it's hard to pour. Giant jugs topple when you tip, and bulky bottles can slip. Introducing Magic Tap, the spill-proof automatic drink dispenser. It fills every glass like magic. Magic Tap fits right over your containers, jugs, and bottles. Watch, just insert it into your drink container, press, and Magic Tap does the rest. Water, milk, juice, cold drinks, even hot drinks. Magic Tap's powerful motor draws your drink up the super straw and out the spout without spilling a drop. Now the kids can get their own morning OJ and pour milk in their cereal, all without a single spill. The one-handed operation allows you to fill a narrow sports or baby bottle without missing the target. Magic Tap is battery-powered so you can take it anywhere. Mix up a batch of cold lemonade to share while you play, or enjoy cool drinks by the pool on a hot summer's day. Lifting heavy drink containers can be a pain, but not with Magic Tap. Enjoy your iced tea
It needs
pain-free,
batteries?
or have fresh water right at your fingertips. Spilled milk and juice wash your money down the drain. Single-serve boxes and bottles are expensive and leave so much waste.
Why?
But using Magic Tap means you can buy beverages in bulk and serve up exactly the right amount for everyone, saving you money. You can call or log on to get your Magic Tap spill-proof automatic drink dispenser for $14.99. We'll also include the kid-friendly drink guide free with your paid order.
Oh,
and
good
get ready
God.
for some real magic, because we're going to double the entire offer free with your paid order. You can get 2 complete Magic Taps at incredible value, all for $14.99. And here's something nice. When you order your family pack, we'll lower the price. You can call or log on at buymagictap.com.
I love you, Magic Tap. Need more of those. Need more of those in my life.
Yo, Hulkamaniacs! MTV's got a brand new show, The Big Show, with big videos, live music, weird acts, comedy, and a different call-in contest every night. They're giving away cash. They're giving away TVs. They're even giving away a bus trip to Cleveland. They're giving away cameras, comic books.
Wow, to Cleveland?
And a one-night stand with The Who. They're even giving away me, or at least a night with me, at a private screening of my new movie. And on the first night of the show, they're giving away this new Harley Davidson. It's The Big Show. Live contest. The largest arms in the world. Live winners every night.
Premieres this Monday at 8 p.m. 7 Central. Only on MTV.
My friends call me sensitive. I guess I am a bit. I really want to call them, but I simply can't commit.
Hey you! Me thinketh, that stinketh.
Alf, it's about 10, 10, 220.
Well, don't forget the best part. 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes. It's cheap. Right about that.
I want to write about no monthly commitment, dude.
What about no signing up?
Yeah, I like that, brother.
Obviously from another mother.
Dial 1010-220.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Alpha's pretty racist.
See, you don't know where the Macho Man is coming from? Yeah, you're right. You don't know anything about the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and where I'm coming from. Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah. One man.
He looks really
could
sick.
make it to the top of the World Wrestling Federation mountain, yeah. All by myself. No pukesters helping me to the left. And no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now. And another person I don't need. is Elizabeth either, yeah. Because I'm the champion by myself, all by myself. You don't know where I'm coming from, Hulk Hogan, this Sunday afternoon. But I know where you're coming from, yeah.
I mean, he did die.
I know everything about Hulk Hogan,
Very
yeah.
long after
What
this.
makes you tick, yeah. And you've got the audacity, yeah, to see that in WrestleMania 5, that Hulkamania is gonna survive. You don't know me, Hulk Hogan. You don't know where I'm coming from. After I beat you with that big elbow and pin you 1, 2, 3, guaranteed victory. I'm gonna tell you and all the pukesters out there one last time before this Sunday afternoon. Hulkamania is dead.
The following is a paid advertisement for Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill, brought to you by TriStar Products Incorporated.
Why does it say poop resource?
I'm Hulk Hogan. Stay with me for the next half hour. I'm going to show you my latest invention, Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill. Brother.
Finally, a grill that lives up to its name. Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill. It's the ultimate because its extra large interchangeable plates easily transforms your Hulk Hogan grill into
Put your arm on it.
panini sandwich press, pizza oven, and then some. The Ultimate Grill cooks with mechanical pressure. Just lock the lid, instantly.
Give in to your intrusive thoughts, brother. Put your arm inside and clamp it down.
Plus, with its 2 huge cooking surfaces, along with the dual variable heat settings, you can easily cook healthy meals while excess fat drips away into the
I can't be that
self-contained
loud.
fat trap.
That was way
Just
too loud.
remove it, empty it, and put it in the dishwasher. The unique floating hinge allows the Ultimate Grill to adjust to the size of the food, so it's cooked to perfection every time, just the way you like it. Now you can
that looked
juicy
gross.
cooked burgers grilled to perfection, grilled cheese sandwiches in just 30 seconds, homemade golden brown Belgian waffles in just minutes, delicious panini sandwiches in 5 minutes, fresh or frozen pizza baked in 15 minutes, amazing quesadillas in only 2 minutes, plump and juicy hot dogs, amazing thick-cut frozen steaks cooked to mouth-watering perfection in only 20 minutes, even delicious desserts, and your kitchen doesn't have to look like this. Stay tuned to discover how you can replace over $1,200 of appliances with just one countertop wonder that's simple to use, simple to clean, and is as easy to store as a box of cereal. Here's our host, Bob Warden, and the man...
Brother, I slammed my dick into this Ultimate Grill.
Hogan himself.
Now it's flat as fuck.
Come up with a grill that lives up to its name. It's the Ultimate Grill, and it's definitely the ultimate cooking appliance. And we promised everyone that they'd love my grill so much that they'd want to use it every day. Well, let's get started, Bob.
Okay.
Well, this is one
I feel like it's like kind of impossible to place the time period of Hulk Hogan.
Drain all the grease, but what are some of the other problems it may have? This grease is horrible here in the tray.
Well, what happens is because this has no temperature control and because it doesn't have a floating hinge, the hamburgers are well done at the back while they're still rare in the front, and it's a real problem to clean up. Now watch this. We're going to put not just 4 burgers on there, but we're going to put 6 burgers on there.
Hey guys, notice this. These aren't ordinary burgers.
Oh my
These are
god,
Hulk-sized
this sick fuck.
And we are going to show you how
No,
we
don't.
get them to cook evenly from the front all the way to the back. Here's where the difference is. On the back of this, we have it raised up.
I'm
so that-
cooking burgers. Burger.
Take a look. It is hot. Believe me, it is very, very hot. Now this is probably going to.
Why are you cutting it like that? Are
This
you
grill's
kidding me?
amazing.
I
I
want
cannot
you
believe how good the
just
pizza
to
looks.
get a smell and a feel of that. Isn't that great? Now let me show you the bottom.
God, it looks good.
Look at this.
God, it looks
Oh,
good.
it's grilled perfectly.
Perfect. isn't
No,
it?
it's not. It looks awful.
Okay, well that's grease.
Okay.
This with one system because we have a waffle iron, we have a little sandwich maker.
Help! Hulkamania's gonna run wild, and no one can stop this 5-man tag team.
All right, gentlemen, it's Casella.
What a good combo.
He didn't save my life, I saved his life. Rough, tough, non-stop action.
End of the line, Smith.
With the A-Team and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I love it.
Celebrity Tuesday on 10.
Hey, dudes, the Hulkster's running wild on WCW, and I want to tell you all about it right now.
Call the Hulk Hogan hotline at 1-900-737-HULK.
It's got 8 incredible options, like Beat the Hulk, Hulk Trivia, and one of my great Hulk messages. There's always something new on the Hulk Hogan hotline.
Call now at 1-900-737. Oh, calls cost $1.49 per minute.
What would you talk to Hulk about? I don't even understand.
Phone bill.
You've tried other grills on the market. Some of them may drain the grease, but don't
Oh,
cook
no.
the meat evenly, and the cleanup is a mess. Now you can enjoy juicy cooked
Yeah, that was like young version.
grilled cheese
What
sandwiches.
the fuck? Did you see those chips?
chips? Burgers grilled to perfection.
The fuck? I love steak fries, but those just look like cut potato, not cooked.
Grilled cheese sandwiches in just 30 seconds. Homemade golden brown Belgian waffles in just minutes. Delicious panini sandwiches in 5 minutes. Fresh or frozen pizza.
That is my
baked in
favorite kind of
15
French
minutes.
fry when it's done
Amazing
right, though.
quesadillas in only 2
A
minutes.
steak fry, like, well done.
Dogs,
Oh, man.
Amazing. Thick cut frozen steaks cooked to mouth-watering perfection in only 20 minutes. Even delicious desserts. And your
What the
kitchen
fuck was
doesn't have
that?
to look like this. Finally, a grill that lives up to its name. Introducing Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill. It's the ultimate because its extra large interchangeable plates easily transforms your Hulk Hogan grill into a skillet, waffle maker, panini sandwich press, pizza oven, quesadilla maker, a buffet warmer.
It all
and
looks
then
awful.
some. That's $1,200 worth of specialty appliances in just one countertop rebel that does it all. Best of all, the food is filled with ultimate flavor. The secret is the Ultimate Grill cooks with mechanical pressure. Just lock the lid, instantly searing in flavor and juices. You have evenly, perfectly grilled food on both sides every time. Plus, with its 2 huge cooking surfaces, along with the dual variable heat settings from 210 to 425 degrees, you can easily cook healthy meals while excess fat drips away into the self-contained fat trapper. The unique floating hinge allows the Ultimate Grill to adjust to the size of the food, so it's cooked to perfection every time, just the way you like it. Grill Hulk-sized chops, steaks, chicken, and fish. Open it up and grill
You can
12
cook chicken
burgers
in,
at
like,
once while the grease
8 minutes
drains away.
in an air fryer.
The Ultimate Grill turns into the ultimate panini sandwich press to make grilled turkey paninis. Make a quick and healthy lunch for you and your family. The variable heat settings allow you to cook different foods at the same time. Cook bacon, sausages,
I don't
or
think
other
he's in this
breakfast meats
one.
on the grill plate while the excess grease drains into the self-contained fat trapper. Seafood is perfect to cook on Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill. You can easily cook swordfish on one side, scallops and shrimp kebabs on the other. Close the grill and cook delicious savory salmon. Grill large chicken breasts while keeping them plump and juicy. Perfect to top off a Caesar salad, a sandwich, or
I haven't
serve
used a
with
George
grilled
Foreman
vegetables.
grill for, like,
Take the leftover chicken,
20
add a
years, probably.
tortilla, and you've got amazing fresh
It was good
quesadillas.
for
Hulk Hogan's
grilled
Ultimate
cheese,
Grill
though.
is perfect if you're on a special diet, whether it's high protein or vegetarian. Stir fry all your vegetables on one side. At the same time, you can heat up your rice. Place a large fresh or frozen pizza on the skillet, and in just 15
No,
minutes,
I don't think
you've got
so.
a mouth-watering gourmet crispy pizza. Best of all, cleanup is a breeze. Just put the self-contained no-spill fat trapper and cooking plates in the dishwasher. It's that easy. Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill is perfect for offices, apartments, dorm rooms, RVs, boats, and
It looks
so
like
much
it would
more.
be such a fucking waste of space.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again.
毎日
Sunday,
毎
Monday,
日
Tuesday,
日立の
Wednesday,
細長
Thursday,
静
Friday,
か
Saturday,
サラサラ
Sunday comes again.
綺麗な空気
Guys, what the fuck are we looking at?
体には細長が気持ちいいんです日立のビッグフローウェルネス
No, it's like an air conditioner.
With Wrestling Superstar, it's like having a real match right in your own home. There's Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, and Big John Studd. And now you can fly 'em and flip 'em in the Sling 'em, Fling 'em Wrestling Ring. Wrestling Superstars and New Wrestling Ring, each sold separately from LJN.
It's a one of a kind, like no other. Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill, brother.
Hi guys, welcome back. Bob and I just showed
What's up,
you how
man?
my Ultimate Grill replaced over $1,200 worth of professional kitchen appliances. And we're not done yet. Bob, what's next?
Well, remember just before we left, we put two 2.5-inch frozen steaks in here along with the
No.
potatoes. Let's see how they came out. Are you ready?
Whoa.
Take a look at that.
Well,
Now,
here's the deal with the frozen steaks.
Yeah?
I've never seen or heard of anybody cooking frozen steaks and getting them totally perfect, even cooked perfectly on the inside.
Well, let's just see if this is just the way you like it. How about that? Is that juicy? Look at that.
Now that's what I call a steak.
That's from
exactly how I like
frozen.
it.
No juice
And
at
we have a
all.
complete meal because we have our potatoes.
All the
perfectly
juice
done
is gone.
At the same time. I know you like grilled cheese sandwiches,
I love grilled cheese.
but you told me you had a problem with it.
I can never get the center finished the same time the outer edges do, and I always make a mess, and I always burn them.
Oh, wow. What a fucking
We're going to
problem.
make these grilled cheese sandwiches, 4 of them.
What kind of bread is
oversized,
that?
By the way, as you
Oh.
can see, in about 30 seconds. All
Why
right?
is that bread so
Now,
starchy?
the way we're going to do that is we're going to use pressure. Give it a press. It locks in place. 30 seconds. Are you counting?
30 seconds. I'm getting ready to call you out on this one.
It's like butter.
Here we go.
Wow.
How about that, Hulk?
Unbelievable.
Now, that was 30 seconds. We've got molten cheese sandwiches.
They don't look
inside
done.
and out. You
Now,
won't
the true
believe
test
that.
is if they're the same all the way through.
Well, here we
the
go.
middle has to be cooked the same as the outside.
That bread does not look crispy.
They're too hot for me to handle. And just take a look
Whoa.
at that. How about that, Hulk?
Let me see that.
Okay.
Let me have
It's
one.
like
Grab a
complete
bite. Now,
shit.
careful, don't burn yourself because they are
Okay.
hot, 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 hot sandwiches right now. We could do
Dude, grilled cheese is like
2
the
packages,
easiest thing.
8 in a package.
You could just put
of
fucking
hot
like
dogs.
aluminum
This is
foil
it.
on a burner and
Well,
fucking make it grilled cheese. Like, come on.
All right, give it a press. It'll snap into place, and those hot dogs are going to be done in about 2 minutes. Hey, look at that.
Party time.
It's party time. Just roll them right out and roll them right on the
Oh, yes, hot dogs. The other insanely easy thing to cook.
Here you go, Hulk.
You
Tell
can
me
cook
how
in
this
like
tastes.
18 different ways. Nope.
I love the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Grill. I cook shrimp and steak, and it's done quickly. There's enough for everybody. We take it to the beach, we take it to a cabin. And the cleanup is so simple and easy. It's the ultimate grill.
We love to have our friends over and to entertain. And in the past, it was bringing out the hors d'oeuvres from the oven, putting them on the tray. They would get cold. Now with the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Grill, we put all the hors d'oeuvres in one place. They stay warm, and we have
Now you
more
can bring it
time
into
to
the
spend with our
bedroom.
friends and with each other.
What kind of waffles do you like?
Well, not this kind. This is too
Nope.
small.
Okay.
I like big golden brown, perfect waffles, fluffy and big.
How is that
this
too
is a professional
small?
waffle maker. It costs $90. Does a great
It's literally the
job
biggest
with
kind of waffle you
but
could
this
have.
is how
The
much
fuck are you
waffle it
talking
makes.
about?
So what we did with the Ultimate Grill, remember, we give you interchangeable plates. These are optional plates that you can also add to your Hulk Hogan grill. So all we do now is we
Okay.
swap out by pushing the button here and here. We swap out and we put in your waffle plates. Now, want to pour with me?
Oh, I'm ready.
Now, each time we pour here, this is the same amount exactly of batter as that professional machine does. So that's 1 professional machine's worth, 2 professional machines worth, 3 professional machines worth.
Wait a minute, you said that was a $90 machine?
That was a $90 machine. We're going to do
So we're
4.
making 4 waffles at the same
Yeah,
time?
like
That's
it replaces $1,200 worth of equipment, and it's like quesadilla cooker, buffet warmer,
Press it. Now we've got the
all these
pressure in
things
there.
that
We
you
know
definitely
we're
have in your
375
kitchen.
Top and bottom. They're going to come out perfect. Let's see how I've done with our waffle.
Beautiful.
How about that? Now, is that an ordinary waffle, or is that a Hulk waffle?
You know what?
That is absolutely fantastic.
Usually they would classify that as a Belgian waffle, but that is way too big. That is a Hulk Ultimate Grill waffle, brother. That's what I call a waffle.
Stop with the strawberries. What the fuck did you just do?
There's nothing to clean up. That's beautiful.
Quesadilla makers next.
No way.
You ready? One absolutely gorgeous
Oh my
quesadilla
God.
ready
This
to
is
go.
unbelievable.
Now, this is an 8-inch quesadilla.
This is unbelievable.
We can do a 12-inch shell here at a time.
This is like the ultimate quesadilla maker.
Okay, so look at that. Is that
My God.
beautiful or what?
Well, you've now opened up the floodgates because now everybody can make whatever they want as far as Mexican food because this is like the ultimate Mexican grill.
How about a Mexican fiesta?
Grill.
Now, remember, we
A
have
Mexican fiesta?
Yeah, we got dual temperature control.
I'll
so
be
what we
taking a
do
Mexican siesta after all this food.
is open this
Man.
up. We're going to use the low temperature here just to keep our shells warm. I've already got all of our onions and peppers going here. We'll just
and there's
move
no
those
grease.
back. Well,
there's
the
no grease
is all going to go away now.
Yeah,
Chicken,
because
beef,
they're vegetables.
Fish, whatever you'd like, grill away.
This really spells it out in plain simple English. Talk about the fat and the grease disappearing is one thing, but to actually see it, especially with Mexican food, it's always in the meat.
Remember,
There
it's on
is.
either end. This is where your fat goes. You just pour it away. You
There
can't
it is.
spill it. Put it right in the dishwasher.
It has a grease trap that is stored on each side.
Well, first of all, I like that it can go in the dishwasher. That you really sold me on that because then I don't have to wash it by hand and it's easy cleanup.
The grease tray goes in the dishwasher too, which I know a lot of the other ones you're collecting them in a little cup.
Well, I'm all big on cleanup because I don't like to wash dishes.
We have a grill that's like this without the removable plates, and I have to scrub it and make sure that I don't get it in the water. So this is much easier.
I like that this opens up because it has a big space, and the pizza was really good. I just tried a piece of the pizza. It was really good.
I can't believe how crispy the pizza was on the bottom. I was surprised.
I'm sorry, but you're cooking in pizza and anything that's not an oven, you're kind of fucking stupid.
Pizzeria. This machine is able
Unless
to
you're
make
like in the middle of the woods.
as good, if not better, than the pizza we sell.
The pizza is incredible. It's so good. If I would have known you had samples down here, I wouldn't have bought a slice upstairs.
None of the other things out there that I know of at least makes pizza.
I'm asking my mom to buy me a Hulk Hogan grill.
It was literally the Kylo Ren kid.
When you select vitamins, do you choose the only one?
I mean, Hulk Hogan came out.
Colors, flavors, and sweeteners. Beta carotene, Hulk Hogan vitamins, the new champion of children's chewables.
すぐあったかくなるエコンがいい。
細
細長だからファジー
Hell yeah.
日立のエアコン
I want that.
Hey, B, no way a little dude like you is gonna change my ways.
It's time you were tempted with a taste of nuts and honey.
Hulk Hogan doesn't eat nuts and honey.
Take this, an unbeatable part of this nutritious breakfast.
That's better than a body slam.
Undefeated.
And still champion.
It's a honey oven oat. It's from the Cheerios.
He just like gets naked.
Don't ever try to one-up the Stinger.
And the will to win.
I will not be ignored.
TNA, Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling. The most exciting, high-flying, death-defying wrestling in the world. TNA Wrestling on pay-per-views.
TNA, are you ready to feel the power of Hulkamania?
Hey, how can I get muscles like you guys? Wow, Mr. Wonderful!
You can start by getting in shape with the Hulkamania workout set.
Great!
It's got everything you need. Head and wristband, a jump rope for warming up, a hand gripper for power, dumbbells for
Are you
strength,
kidding me?
an exercise poster, and even Hulk's own workout tape.
The Hulkamania workout set. You from LJN.
Are you in
A
shape
fucking kids workout set?
Yo, Hulkamaniacs, it's me, Hulk Hogan. Check out my new look. Brother, I was at Arby's scarfing down a chicken cordon bleu. That natural chicken tastes righteous. That's because it's not all pumped up with phosphates and fillers, which gave the Hulkster an idea. Maybe I don't need to be pumped up either. Who needs to be doing bench presses and deadlifts all day?
Now all of Arby's chicken is made with 100% all-natural, all-delicious chicken. Try our chicken cordon bleu
Wow.
with ham and melted Swiss. It'll have you saying,
Now our chicken's made with chicken.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. You're in trouble.
Wait, no, I'm a big man. No!
Fucking killed him. Is that fucking...
The following is a paid advertisement for Hulk Hogan's Ultimate Grill, brought to you by TriStar Products Incorporated.
Hey guys, I'm Hulk Hogan. Stay with me for the next half hour. I'm gonna show you my latest invention, Hulk Hogan's
half an hour.
Brother.
Finally, a grill that lives up to its name. The following is a paid advertisement for Hulk Hogan's
Hey dudes, Hulk Hogan's running wild on the WCW, and I want to tell you about it right now. Call the Hulk Hogan hotline, 1-900-737-HULK. It's got 8 incredible options, like Beat the Hulk, Hulk Trivia, and one of my great Hulk messages. There's always something new on the Hulk Hogan hotline. Call now, 1-900-737-HULK. Call cost $1.49 per minute. Kids get parents' permission. Charges will appear on a parent's phone bill. Hey dudes, the Hulkster's running wild on WCW, and I want to tell you all about it right now.
Call the Hulk Hogan hotline at 1-900-737-HULK.
It's got 8 incredible options, like Beat the Hulk, Hulk Trivia, and one of my great Hulk messages. There's always something
Same one.
on the Hulk Hogan hotline. Call.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a taste of it a little earlier on here on Saturday nights.
Because we just might blow the whole planet up, you know. Everybody knows that Hulkamania is the strongest force in this universe. But when I hit that ring and I saw what the madness was all about, I realized there was a whole nother universe out there, a whole nother frontier, and the power of the madness and the mania just blew my 24-inch guns out, man.
You mean to tell me there is another solar system, Macho Man?
I won't play too much of that because it's just straight up WWE, WWF, or whatever the fuck. Okay. There's a YouTube thumbnail that's just like a chick wearing a thong, and it's like, sister attempts to ruin wedding by seducing fiance. What the fuck? Been watching some dumb shit apparently. What the fuck is this YouTube playables thing? It's like games they're advertising now. All right. How about a few more things?
Everybody's thirsty for more, but sometimes it's hard to pour. Giant.
It's hard to pour.
Oh no, another storm is coming, and it could be days before the power comes back on. That's why you need the all-new solar-powered Liberty Lantern, the antique-style lantern featuring ultra-bright LED technology.
Yes.
Flashlights always need new batteries, are uncomfortable to hold, and hard to direct the light where you need it. But the solar-powered Liberty Lantern's 16 ultra-bright LED bulbs radiates light throughout the whole room for up to 120,000 hours. Amazing! And it automatically recharges itself in indoor or outdoor light. But that's not all. You can also recharge your cell phone or other devices with a built-in USB charging port, making the Liberty Lantern a solar-powered device charger. Now you'll always be ready for emergencies and never be stuck in the dark for hours with nothing to do or no way to contact your friends or family, no matter how long the power stays out. And it's not just for emergencies. The built-in dimmer adjusts from an ultra-bright light to a gentle, flickering candlelight glow, making the Liberty Lantern perfect for everything from candlelight dinners to outdoor patio parties or barbecues, perfect for lighting up the campsite, great for safety.
That dad was pointing to the light with his kid. He's like, "You're gonna inherit this one day.
Extra light or phone charger handy.
Day, you're gonna inherit the Liberty light."
Water resistant and makes a great decorative piece. Other LED lanterns need batteries costing you money.
I know the instrumental is funny as hell.
Charges in 4 different ways: solar power, a built-in hand crank, or
build
USB
you
charging
up.
port from a computer or wall adapter. Get the solar-powered Liberty Lantern featuring the built-in dimmer, candlelight function, backup hand crank, plus 2 USB ports for recharging your cell phone or tablet. Order now and don't miss out. Those expensive earpieces can really get annoying, and headphones were never meant to get the party going. Lose the wire and rock the room with seamless Bluetooth from Microboom. Now you can take the music with you anywhere, but that's not all. Answer your calls right from the
I'm
unit.
talking to you on my telephone.
I can finally hear you now.
With Microboom's built-in speakerphone. Put the power of a surround sound stereo with the convenience of Bluetooth in the palm of your hand. Microboom features onboard noise isolation mic, playlist scan, answer call button, and volume dial for powerful performance. Microboom uses state-of-the-art acoustic technology to deliver hi-fi sound anywhere. Pairing Microboom to any device is as simple as turning it on, activating the device's Bluetooth, and listening for this tone. Once paired, Microboom remembers your device, so you'll never need to do it twice. The solid aluminum body makes it virtually indestructible. Don't risk an expensive ticket. Microboom's soft silicone base keeps it in place, so you're always ready to answer calls or listen to music. Microboom pairs easily to all your devices. Don't let inferior speakers ruin that important presentation. Capture their attention and seal the deal with Microboom. No Bluetooth? No problem. The included audio cable can even bring that old tower back to life. Microboom has an unbelievable 30-foot range, so you can wirelessly stream your playlist or answer calls without having to lug your device. A full charge can be delivered from your computer or wall charger with a supplied USB cable, and this mini powerhouse is ready to rock and talk. Which would you rather have? This or this? Look again at how easy Microboom is to pair with any device. Now you can rock and roll with Microboom. Available in classic black, coral pink, and aqua blue. Love burritos but hate the mess? You fill, fold, and roll, but you never get that perfect hold. And store-bought burritos are just not the same. Introducing Burrito Perfect, the simple, fast, mess-free way to make perfect burritos any day. Watch. Just place a tortilla on the Burrito Perfect. Fill it with your favorite toppings such as rice, beans, chicken, lettuce, cheese, and guacamole. Then fold 1, 2, 3, and you get a perfect burrito with ease. Now you can make quick and simple breakfast burritos, steak fajita burritos, chicken and cheese burritos, bean burritos, vegetable burritos. It's so easy the whole family will enjoy making their own favorite burrito without the mess all by themselves. No more frustration folding burritos and worrying about getting it on your
it's a
clothes.
pretty sad-ass
Enjoy
burrito,
making
dude.
your own fresh, flavorful burrito without the spills. Burrito Perfect is also great for crepes. Make strawberries and cream crepes, chocolate banana crepes, peach crepes, and more. For a limited time, you'll get the Burrito Perfect for only $9.99. But if you call now, you'll also get the hard shell taco holder free. Hate holding the taco shell and mess in your hand? Now just place your taco shell in the taco holder and fill it with meat, topped with lettuce, shredded cheese, your favorite salsa, and enjoy classic meat tacos, chicken tacos, seafood tacos, and more. Best of all, Burrito Perfect and taco holder is BPA free and dishwasher safe. Enjoy the simple mess-free way to eat burritos and tacos any day.
Yeah,
You'll
for
get
this
the
family,
Burrito
look at that
Perfect and
guy.
hard shell
Doesn't know what
taco
he's
holder
doing.
for only $9.99. But hold on, we're not done yet. Call or click in the next 10 minutes and we will double your offer free. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 Burrito Perfects and 2 taco holders, a $30 value for only $9.99. This incredible offer is guaranteed to never be available in stores, so order now.
Incredible. Incredible. I am going to wrap it up. Thank you all for hanging out. It's getting a little late. This is getting a little too late. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll probably be around tomorrow at some point. We'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out. You guys be well, and we'll see you soon. And got more games to play. I got other stuff going on. We'll do some more 7 days. And who knows? Who knows? All right, guys. Night, everybody. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for being here.